Hello and welcome to DCP Live episode number 210, the Briar just smoked out his office episode.
He's in a haze.
Yeah,
he's hotboxing.
Right.
Don't
constant
worry
haze hotbox.
Takes a lot of drugs to deal with you guys.
Oh man,
One of those episodes.
Drago, welcome to the show.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Yeah,
Good to be here.
welcome. How's things?
Good. Everything is good. Smiling real big.
Were you hotboxing your room too, just like Briar?
No, what? No.
Briar's a bad influence. I know this. After 210 episodes, definitely bad influence.
How dare you?
First time on the show, right?
Yeah, first time. First
Awesome.
time.
Yeah, welcome.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I think Fran
with-
is looking forward to bullying people.
Oh no.
Yeah, because that's me. Never you guys. It's always Fran. I'm the
Well,
big
maybe
one.
you're trying to get back. You're
Dare
like,
you.
you know, I've been bullied so much. I'm ready to bully the hell out of somebody.
I'm ready. No, I'm ready to pass it on. And so see, then I can put it on him, and then you guys hopefully take the pressure off me.
That's not what they meant by pay it forward, Fran.
That's exactly what they didn't mean.
Oh my gosh. I see you got a raid
So,
jacket
Drago-
behind you.
Yeah, I do. Crown of Sorrow one.
Crown, nice,
Picked it up.
nice.
Mhm.
Is it comfy?
Do
The
you-
raid jacket?
It is comfy. It's
They're-
absolutely comforting.
Dude, their jackets are sick. By the way, I don't know if you can show it. The inside of that one is green, right?
No, this one's yellow.
Oh,
the
that
the
one's
yellow.
GOS,
That's the
the
one
GOS.
that's gold.
is-
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's right. I have
The
The
both.
gold is
But
real nice.
Oh, you have both. Oh, okay.
Well, three, right? Yeah, there's 3 jackets that you can have so far, I think.
Let's go.
Mhm.
That's what I was going to ask. Which ones you have? Do you just have that one, or do you have?
I just have this one. I wanted the GOS one for how much we ran GOS, but wasn't
So
able
there's
to get
no
it.
way that you can prove that you actually beat it. is what you-
Okay. I got 0 ways to prove it. Oh wait, there's
I
an
grab
emblem.
mine
No,
if
I'm
you
good.
want.
No, okay.
I'm kidding. You're probably way better at Destiny than I am. Trust me.
What?
Well, has Drago had the optimal tether placement?
Yeah,
lecture?
how's your tether placement?
I don't main hunter, so
Oh
Ooh.
boy.
What the
Ooh.
fuck? Who
The
invited
most
you?
important question. I'll give you
Oh.
the question, Teft. Do you want
I feel
Wow.
nauseous.
wow.
the darkness is really like
Let me guess.
pervading here.
Let me guess. You're going to say you main a warlock.
Maybe. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
yep.
really?
I do main a warlock. Yep. That's
Wow.
me.
Everybody on this show is a hunter.
Oh, so that's why I'm getting all these like stares that are just
And-
like,
I mean, Teft has a lot to say about warlocks. Let's just
We
say
say really
I'd
nice
say,
things about
yeah.
warlocks.
I was a
constantly.
day
We
one
did it
warlock.
for 8 hours in a row. Fake.
oh, that sounds like a great
We
time.
did every raid as a warlock, and I blinked through every one of them instead of using the regular
Mhm.
crap ass
You were
warlock jump.
so like, so excited about blinking, nailing the blink platform. By the way, I have an important question for all of us, which is your name. I feel like maybe not everybody's going to get your name right. So,
Yeah.
what is it? Let's start with the full name that you go
My
by.
full name-
on Twitter, on Twitch and Twitter and all that.
The full name is Dragosnuv.
Dragosnuv.
That's the yeah.
Got it.
That's the
See,
full
even
name.
I screwed. I thought I knew what it
It
was. I
sounds
thought
like
it
a
was
Harry
Dragosnuv.
Potter house.
Oh my god.
No, the house
Most
of
people
Dragons.
call me
That's
Dragon.
the
on
house of
accident.
Dragos.
what did-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's this come from?
So back in the Call of Duty days, I used to always
boy.
the sniper was called, I think it's called the Dragosnuv, right? I would always use
yeah.
that sniper,
Mhm.
but I would always call it Dragosnuv because I'd always read it wrong. And my friends would always give me stuff for it. They're always like, that's not the way you say it. That's not the way you say it. And they're like, that's not a word. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make it a word. Changing my name to Dragosnuv. And bam, that's how I was
Nice.
born.
History.
That wasn't a popular sniper, if I
It
remember.
wasn't.
It was like
It
really
really
low
wasn't.
power.
Yep. Yep.
Solid
Everybody
random
hated
decisions.
it.
Yeah, but it was in every Call of Duty game. Like it
Mhm.
kept showing up, even though nobody liked using it. Well, apparently somebody liked using it.
And
So
Ow.
right here on the podcast, proof. right
Yeah.
there.
that's
What
I
did
had
you like
no-
about that
no idea.
sniper? I'm genuinely
It-
curious. Was
it
the
just-
fast fire rate.
Yeah, it was nice to just get two bodies, like just quick, like just bam bam take them out.
Yeah.
And I liked it. In case I missed a headshot, like literally had the fast fire rate to finish up. I love
Do you
that.
still play Call of Duty?
I haven't touched it recently. Like I've been on just Destiny. Just has got
When'd
me.
you wean
So,
off of it? I'm curious.
it would have to be. I would want to say that Black Ops 2 is when I leaned off of it.
Oh,
Wow.
2, really?
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Several people. So wait, is that the community you'd say you came from before Destiny, or where, before? Well, when did you start in Destiny? Let's start there.
I started late in Destiny. I started in
Just last
House
month?
of Wolves. No,
Last month.
last month. I just picked it up. It's been great. Now I'm here.
Oh,
This game's
I
been
like it.
cool. It's been nice. Having a blast.
He's got raid jackets in his last month. My God.
Yeah, he bought it on eBay, dude. It's got like Briar's names on it. It's like, wait a minute. But since House of Wolves, okay, but that's a while back.
Yeah.
That's I feel like only in the Destiny community could that be considered starting late in Destiny. That was still year 1 of Destiny.
That was, yeah.
It was, yeah. That was
That's
still
5
very
years
early.
ago.
Trials came in. Did you come in for trials, or was that just the timing?
That was just the timing. Like I'd always hear, like when I worked at my job, I'd always hear, like every time I'd come in, like in the middle of shift change, I would always hear them talking about Gallahorn, like Gallahorn this, Gallahorn that, Gallahorn this,
Naturally.
Gallahorn that.
Do you have Gal?
And it's just it finally I walked up to him and I was like, what is this thing? What are you guys talking about? And they told me, and I picked up Destiny, and bam, haven't put it down.
So there was a
And-
gap between Black Ops 2 and House of Wolves. What did you play in the meantime?
Briar's doing like the math on the months between the two main
Briar's
games. Like,
Googling.
dude,
Briar's
that's
like,
some
Wait a
awesome
second.
interview.
There's a gap in this story.
It's
Little discrepancy
I don't
in the ledger
Where
care.
were
here.
you? It's like a job interview. You know, when they're like, what were you
What were
doing
you
during
doing?
this
What
2
were you
years of
doing?
unemployment?
What were you outside
Where
or
were
something?
you?
What were the events that
Reveal
led to
yourself.
Destiny?
Were you playing disc golf? Like, come on. What's the real story here?
I'm only
mean,
curious because I had a similar journey. I came from Call of Duty to Destiny. I played Call of Duty every day, right?
Yeah.
And then I think it was Advanced Warfare came out. I didn't like it. Destiny came out and I loved it. So it was kind of a natural transition for me. It was
Easy
like,
swap.
yeah, that's why I'm curious.
But did you play anything in between?
I mean the only I think that I think I came. I think during that time I was playing Dota during that
Oh,
time.
wow.
So that's the other game that I played.
So you like
a
to
lot
keep it
out
with the
into.
toxic communities.
Oh, okay.
Sounds like a-
Just keep swinging from one toxic community to the next.
Is-
From one to another.
Did Holtzman ever get into Dota? Sounds like Holtzman. would.
No.
No, he wouldn't.
League
No,
of
Just
Legends,
all WoW.
right?
No,
League,
we
maybe?
tried.
Oh, you tried.
Oh, okay.
We tried to get him into League. Never happened.
Yeah.
Rip.
They're pretty deep games. That's why I haven't touched it. I'm just like,
They are.
It just
I got
keeps
too many
getting
things
worse.
that I need to keep
If you
track
have
of.
any
Yeah.
interest in those games, it's best to just do it as
Well,
soon as possible.
You should just get an iPhone 12 and then play it on your phone.
Oh my
That's
god.
totally
You
the
can
other
play
thing
Wild
that's-
Rift. There you go. You can play League of Legends Wild Rift.
But yeah, I was gonna make the note. It's like, I think, am I the only person that plays Call of Duty now? I didn't even like play Call of Duty.
I'm looking
back
forward
in
to
the
playing
day.
the next one.
Oh, you are?
Oh,
It's,
really?
campaign?
Yeah.
Or PvP?
No,
What?
Oh, PvP. I
Oh,
might
really?
check out
Yeah.
the
Beta's
Black
out
Ops
today.
campaigns are the only campaigns that I actually really kind of dug. After Modern Warfare 1 had a cool campaign, Modern Warfare 2 had a cool campaign, and then Black Ops 1 had a really cool campaign. Black Ops 2, I didn't like the campaign that much, but I am kind of like, because they're going back to the Cold War era, which I think is kind of a neat era to go back to. So I might play the campaign, but really I'm looking forward to playing with like those 1980s like action hero guns and stuff like that. That just seems appealing to me.
I'm kind of curious, actually, since you brought it up in parallel to Destiny. How do you think, like, if you like the campaigns in Call of Duty, how would you compare that to like the campaigns in Destiny? Is there something there that you'd want, with you guys? I haven't played the campaign in a while. I'm kind of curious. Like, do you think any of that applies to Destiny from a campaign perspective?
It's hard for me to say. I would buy the Call of Duty and not play the campaign. I would just immediately jump into multiplayer and play it for a year until the next one came out.
I was
I've never
about to
played
say.
a Call of Duty campaign
Yeah.
ever.
Oh, so you only like Black Ops campaign, and that was it.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. It was like the numbers Mason and all that stuff was just kind of a fun It was a fun campaign.
Gotcha. Too bad I was leading. I like how cinematic they get, obviously, but they are condensed. I mean, they can be anywhere from 5 to 10 hours, right? So
Yeah.
Well, there usually is a lot of production value that goes in those campaigns,
yeah.
and not a lot of people play it in
there is.
comparison. Like people
Yeah.
play the multiplayer mostly, but like when you do play one of those campaigns, it's not going to be like crazy memorable. You're not going to walk away, feeling like your gaming life was changed, but it's going to be like a
Yeah.
summer popcorn flick type of Michael Bay
Yeah.
thing that happens, which is fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Drago as well. Like, so when did you start streaming, and leading up to being on the show today, what's that journey look like?
Yeah, so I started streaming like almost 3 years ago. Started out on Mixer.
Oh yes, that's right.
I was just playing Destiny, and then a couple of friends were like, "Oh, we want to watch you play," and I was kind of like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, we want to watch you play. Like we
Why would
like we
anybody
see
do
you." Yeah, why would anybody do that? Exactly. So like it kind of just went from there, and it's been crazy.
And you were on Mixer.
Starting it, and I was on Mixer. It was just easy to go live from the Xbox.
Mhm.
So
Right.
went live from
Yep.
the Xbox, bam, was good to go. And then I met some amazing people that kind of taught me PvP, and it kind of just spiraled into what it is now. Just crazy to think about.
What's your main platform right now when it comes for Destiny?
Xbox. I don't have enough friends to play on PC.
Nice. So you main Xbox basically?
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Is it going to be a Series S or X transition?
I hope for an S.
Yeah.
Really do.
Looking for the
Hoping
pre-order.
for it.
Yeah, pre-order.
I didn't get I couldn't get it.
Yeah.
I wish I could have got it, but it'll come in time.
Same boat. Feels bad, man.
Yeah.
Feels real bad.
Yeah, actually, I'm curious for everybody here. Like, obviously, we've been on PC, right? Everybody's main platform, Watts, Briar, Taft,
Yep.
PC, right? We've talked about it, worried about the raid race and things like that, and we're going to talk about that in the TWAB, spicy stuff in there. But like,
Mhm.
are you thinking of switching platforms still? Like for Trials, Watts, you've said it. Is a platform switch coming for anybody on the show, or are you going to stick with PC and see how it goes?
So for me, it kind of depends on a couple things. So with console's looking great because there's some stuff that was said in the 12. Console's looking pretty great.
Yes, it is.
But
Mhm.
however, you have to think of, do I want to get DDoSed or do I want to deal with hackers? Now, if you deal with cheaters, you just have to deal with it for that period of time. If you deal with a DDoSer, it's a whole other headache. So, of course, you have to make sure you have a VPN. If you're a streamer, even if you're a tiny streamer and you are playing Trials on
Yeah.
console, you need to get a VPN.
They'll find you.
They
'Cause
will.
They will. They do, and
Why
they
is
will,
it-
and they
They will.
shall.
Why is it easier? I don't have maybe nobody knows on this show, but I was like, why is it easier to DDoS you when you're on console versus PC? Because
Your
you're
IP's
on a
exposed.
router.
Because Destiny's a peer-to-peer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Steam is now, they figured out a way to cover it up. That's what
Steam-
happened. That's
Steam put
right.
an extra
Steam
layer.
implemented-
Yeah.
Yep.
In between. So they they get rid of the IPs for people on PC, but on console it's still going peer-to-peer directly. So
That's right, but
so ideally you put a VPN on.
right. It didn't
Honestly, it's
before
probably
Steam,
not a
I
bad
think.
idea to have a VPN anyway these days.
No, it's not. Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, it's a good idea. It's obviously a little more complicated to put one on a console than on your PC. PC, you just load up a software and you're good to go. Console is a little more convoluted
Yeah.
to get it set up, and you have to make sure it's a strong one too. Like I've seen that ExpressVPN has got hit offline before. They can find ways around it. So do your research, get a VPN. But yeah, for PvP and Trials in general, like PlayStation is definitely very enticing. It's a huge player base on there. PlayStation 5 is gonna look real great. And Yeah, it's definitely enticing for me. It's something that I'm looking at. And if I know that Bungie has talked about before that they're trying to put in the IP masking for consoles as well. I don't know how they plan on doing it, but it's something that they want to do. So I'm hoping that they do that, because if they do that, it's like a no-brainer, right? You're going to be able to play
That'd be
Trials on there and not deal with any cheaters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to switch over to the console as well. When
Really?
what is it, December 8th when they announced it's going to come
December
out?
8th. Yep.
Well,
That's juicy
Yeah.
twab info, Briar.
Sorry, but yeah, I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and spoil that piece of information then, because they said the next gen consoles are going to have 60 FPS and a field of view slider.
Field of view
And
slider.
If you get a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, then you also get 4K. And I think in the living room, that's a pretty appealing setup for some Destiny action, which, I kind of miss playing Destiny in the living room where, my wife was sitting next to me and the kids were kind of around. Whereas since I moved to PC, when I play Destiny, I'm in the office for hours and hours and hours, as opposed to the living room for hours and hours and hours. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think I'm going to spend a lot of time on the consoles.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for clarity, though, right, it's launching still in November, 12th and 10th respectively on the platforms. It's just not the optimized next gen version.
Correct.
So we don't
Right.
know what
Yep.
the non-optimized launch product looks like. They're about,
Yeah.
frankly, it looks like they're about a month off from some of their optimizations, but you'll still be able to play at launch. And
Yeah,
if you
I'm
wanna
pretty
do
sure
that.
it's
We
going to
don't
look.
know.
I'm pretty sure it's going to look like what the PS4 and the Xbox One is, but with better loading times.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's
Really?
probably what it's going to look like on the 10th. And I
You
agree.
think it'll
Once,
have like old gen textures.
well, it's already 4K
you know what I
right
mean?
now on PS4 and Xbox One X. It's like already 4K technically.
Upsampled. Yeah, but the base
Upsampled,
textures.
yeah.
Anyway, I don't know what the base textures look like, but there's way more memory that I would hope that it was like in other words, I would hope it's the version that they're putting out, right? It's just not optimized yet versus,
No,
you know,
I
you make it almost sound
that
like,
version.
oh, it's basically the PS4 version for now that you get.
yeah, until
Yeah, I think that's
December 8th.
exactly what it's
version.
going to be.
yeah, until
Really?
December 8th.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Is that what they were saying? Because
Yeah.
I didn't understand that in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So December 8th is when they're giving the enhancements for next gen. The current gen stuff is basically going to be current gen up until then, which is, it would have been nice to jump on a PS4 because I definitely have a PS4 pre-ordered, but it would have been nice to jump on that on November 12th. But it's okay. I'll be on PC up until that point, unless I somehow get I'd be on PC for Destiny until that point. Yeah.
Such a subtle way to say it. The next gen optimized version will be on the 8th.
Yeah.
But cross gen play is still coming. And
Well, it's also
available.
confusing because
Like,
it's a
cross-gen
launch
means-
game.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a launch game. It also, when you say that it's cross gen, if I'm playing the same generation on a different console, I wouldn't call that cross gen. I mean, I'm splitting hairs, but I was just confused by the wording there. I sort of just assumed, it's not totally optimized yet. But
Yeah, but it's not going to be
Now
like
that you say
partially
it, I'm like-
optimized. They're not going to
Yeah,
be
it's-
like, here's a little bit of optimization, saving the best for last on the 8th type of thing. It's like, this
I
is
mean,
the
that happens
PS4
all the
version,
time.
The PS5
You know what I mean?
version.
yeah, but that happens all the time where like stuff comes out at launch and you're like, oh man, like frame rate's a little rough. It's running like 30 to 50, whatever. And I sort of expected it to be more like that.
But
okay.
these are like full on features though. The field of view slider. I mean, this is huge, right?
Yeah,
Console.
it's
Let's
giant.
just talk about it.
It's
Get
just-
out of the way.
This is
should
massive
just read
because
through
the console version,
Massive.
as of today, with its is it 75 or 70 field of view?
75. I think it's 75.
75.
That is claustrophobic.
tight.
If you're
It is.
like,
Yeah.
if you're aware of what's possible for a wider field of view when playing Destiny, like it can make you actually uncomfortable when you see that. So like this is huge. This is like a finally it's happening. The console
Yeah,
is
what
getting
people
the
were
good
Called it,
waiting
stuff.
for.
Teft called it, man.
Did I call it?
It's always crazy to go from PC and then back to console and then back to P. Like it's
Yeah.
just it's night and day.
Mhm.
It's night and day.
Yep.
Like it's crazy.
Gun recoil feels different because of the
Yep.
field of view and all that. Yeah.
Who wants to
It's
play it,
anytime
like-
I would go on console and go to a lost sector. I know I've said it so many times,
Oh my
but I
God,
get
right?
in there and I'm like, I don't know where I am. I'm so
Yeah.
close to the wall. I don't know where the exit is. I'm lost. Save me.
Somebody help.
Yeah.
And then I start feeling claustrophobic and confused and scared. So
Yep.
this is huge. This is what people were waiting for. It was like, yeah, 60 FPS is nice, but what about the FOV slider? That's going to be the make or break
Yeah.
for
Mhm.
if people go back to
This
console.
is-
I honestly
assumes-
don't care about the FOV slider. What I care about is
Right.
what the maximum field of view is going to be.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't have
Right?
parity.
Because
with
if it's a
PC.
field of
That's
view
what I'm
slider
wondering.
and goes from 70 to 85, I don't care. I want it
It
to go
says
to
that it's
100.
pretty close
It
to
says it's
PC, right?
Close.
I think it
yeah.
says they said they're shooting to get it pretty close.
They
to
say
the PC.
similar to PC is the exact.
Similar.
I say anywhere
So it's
above
working with
90,
an 80.
I
and-
think yeah.
anywhere from like 90 to 95 is going to be fantastic. And if you can get like 100, awesome. But
Did you guys all play at
too
105?
wide and it looks almost fish-eyed, which I play like that anyway because I just enjoy the field of view so much. But it almost gets like a fisheye lens to it if it's too wide.
mhm.
And on a
Yeah.
60-inch TV or 70-inch TV, that could look really
I
weird.
could see that. I play
Yeah.
at 105. What do you guys play?
I play
I play at
105.
105.
I play at 105.
105.
Yeah, so that I think most PC players are at 105.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting. Yeah, is it going to be 90? Yeah, is it going to be 100? We don't know.
Yeah, but it's
If it
huge.
gets
I
to
mean,
100, that's big news.
That's a big deal.
yeah. So
Yeah, but
60,
that-
60 FPS confirmed, and then a field of view slider. These are basically some major wish list check boxes for console
Yep.
that is
Yep.
coming
Yeah.
true for Beyond Light in December 8th.
And that's on the S as well, the Xbox Series
Mhm.
S. That
Yep.
Series S will have it at 1080p, but keep 60 FPS and the field of view slider. And the the Series X and the PlayStation 5 will get 4K. I'm sure it will not render at a native 4K. I'm sure it's an upscaled 4K.
I don't know.
But-
Actually, it's 60 FPS.
Yeah, I think it's going to be true.
Yeah.
With that
that's
new
true.
hardware.
I think it's gonna be true.
Yeah.
You think
I
so?
mean,
We'll have
yeah.
to wait and see until Digital
These
Foundry.
are
We'll
big,
see.
big
What is
upgrades.
that when they pixel count it all?
Mhm.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, like, because as people got, to 1080, they were doing 900p instead, and trying to get the 2K, it would sometimes be 1080p up, whatever. And so as you get more things closer to 4K, you're right, Brian, you might see, you're like, well, it's like not really 4K, but
Mhm.
it's over
Yeah.
2K. Who knows?
And to be honest,
until we see it.
like Destiny 2, even on like I think like you can run 4K 60 on like a 2060, and I think that's like they're estimating the power of the PS5 and the Series X to be around the power of a 2060 or 2070 graphics card, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And with
Yes.
new gen, pipeline stuff. So that's the difference. Is
Yeah.
it's gonna offload stuff, be better at handling things. I don't know. I have a 2080. I'm actually expecting it to be closer to that. Without the optimizations, which so
Have you ever tried running Destiny 2 at 60 or at 4K? No. Okay.
No. It's fine. I have like one monitor that can do it 4K 60. I should try it. I'm so used
Yeah.
to
Just-
streaming
yeah.
on the same PC though. Yeah, but I only have one PC that I stream on, so I'm
Oh,
never gonna like.
That can be rough. Yeah.
Yeah, that can be pretty rough.
Yeah.
So sticking on that for a sec, I was gonna say, Brian. So Xbox, PlayStation 5 are totally at parity once December 8th comes. Xbox Series X, right, and PlayStation 5.
Yep.
They're 4K.
Yeah.
They're 60.
4K 60 FPS.
Faster load times, etc. And you can just
Yeah.
upgrade for free as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
But
on
yeah.
Xbox, if you have Game Pass, you also get Beyond Light along with it,
You do.
which is
Yeah, just
pretty
huge.
solid.
That's-
you know?
That's
Like if you're the
quite a
kind of
deal.
gamer that just plays Destiny like for years at a time, like all of us have been,
Yeah.
like that's
You
a
should do that
pretty
financing deal.
enticing offer.
Yeah, like you're better off doing that financing deal if you're going to do that. Is keep your.
I
Game
tried to
Pass.
get in on that. I couldn't do it. Like I just couldn't
Mm.
like get to the checkout process. So I had to buy one like a
you're like,
chump.
screw it, I'll just buy it.
No, just buy it. Just buy it outright.
Upfront cost that. Ugh.
Like a chump.
I don't know if you guys have talked about it recently, but I don't think we have as a group. But like load times, I'm sure you've been seeing the stuff out there of
Yeah.
tested it. I think that's honestly going to blow Destiny players, especially away. If you're coming from
Console players
1080p
especially.
30,
Mhm.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, that's what I meant. Console players, if you're coming from 1080p 30 to these upgrades, and suddenly like just traveling, you're probably gonna like go to your phone to like check Twitter. You're gonna be like,
Exactly.
"Whoa, crap!" I'm like,
Yeah, I'm
"Man."
already getting shot. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm super
Well, just like
excited.
go into your inventory and stuff to like change out a
Yeah, it
weapon
comes up-
during a strike.
Like,
Yeah.
Like
dude,
it's so
act-
good.
Yeah. Even that, I forget. I haven't played console in a while, but it's like it takes a second to really get in there, right? In your inventory.
You're
Yes,
locked
switch,
into
yes,
your
it does.
loadout. You are
Yes,
in there.
you
You're not
really?
thinking it.
You
Really?
pull it
It's
up and you're
that slow
like,
still?
all right, it's finally
Wow.
up. It's wild.
To me, it's the most frustrating part about playing on console now. And like, I don't remember it being bad in Destiny 1, but in Destiny 2, for some reason, it's just takes
coughing.
a long time.
It takes a long time. Nope.
Yeah.
That is going to be huge. So that is nice.
Yeah.
You know, you look at, yes, I'm sure everybody would love to have 60 FPS day one. And I guess I'm still a little surprised by some of that, but whatever. You play at 30 frames console, sounds like day one, but the load times are going to just change everything.
In some ways too, because everybody's going to be on that same hardware with those super fast loading times. Things like strikes and crucible matches will be loading faster. In some cases, you would think faster than a PC, because a lot of people still have old spinning disk drives in their PC. So your matchmaking experience on PC is waiting for those guys with those old mechanical, archaic antiques.
5400 RPM hard drive, for Christ's sake.
Oh my gosh.
Running it on a 1660 Ti? God damn.
Says the retro gamer, by the way.
Yeah, right.
The guy with a retro podcast.
Oh my gosh.
It is.
My SNES games load fast. It's all RAM.
Yeah. I was going to say I'm a bit of a stickler like always, but yeah, reading through all this, I'm wondering where this is going to go now, obviously, which is great, 4K 60, but what about 120 frames? Can we do it? Can we pull it off at 1080p on PlayStation 5 and Series X, or 2K?
I want to hope there's some type of like performance like mode maybe you can enable, like it just push it higher. That'd be awesome.
I think in the
Tuning
future.
options.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
My
that
guess
delays
is-
the launch of this, what we're getting
Exactly.
here, by even an hour, then I don't want them to put it in there, because the use case for the people who are going to use 120 FPS on a TV in their living room is so small.
Yeah.
It's so small. There's like
I-
a TV that does it, you know?
I
There's a lot of
vaguely
gamers, though.
remember back when D2 launched that Bungie talked about that they could have done 60 FPS on console for Crucible, but they decided not to because they wanted a more fluid experience going from, one activity to another. So now like
cried
things
about that
have
one.
changed a lot since then. Like the people know how important frames are and FOV is, and Destiny came out in a time where people knew that it was sort of important, but it's nowhere near what it was today. Like it's standard now to have FOV slider 60 FPS on console. So it makes me wonder if they'll go back and revisit that thought of maybe the Crucible could go up to 120, whereas
That's interesting.
PvE
Yeah.
would be 60.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Like I don't
That'd be great.
see why not, you know. And again, it's easy to sit on this side and be like, yeah, couldn't you just put a note in there that we'd love to get it to be 1080p 2K at a minimum, or 1080p 120 frames, or just say I'd love to get it to 120 frames, because I think that I know it's early, it's not even out yet, but but it's such a big moment with Destiny coming up to 60 frames at a base for everybody. Like we've been talking
Huge
about it for
moment.
years.
It's
You think
so,
we could get-
it's so big.
You think we
Yeah.
get 720, 240 frames per second?
See, Brian, yeah, that's how I'm thinking. I'm like,
Can we
I'll
go to
take
480?
480?
Can we go to 480? Yeah.
340 frames.
I got this new
480p.
360p monitor on
Oh
on
my
order at Amazon.
Yeah, where's the
And,
ultra wide? You know, does Destiny? I've never done it. Does Destiny? It does support ultra wide.
yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yes it does.
Holtzman
love
streams
I didn't know
it.
that.
Holtzman and CC Kuhn are the two streamers that I watch that stream it in that way, and it actually looks super cinematic and cool.
Mhm.
I bet, man.
It does. Yeah.
That's neat.
One
Yeah.
day.
What
Yeah.
is
It's exciting.
See, I want to get a 4K, like a high refresh rate 4K monitor. Like that's my next step for monitor, because I currently have a 1440p 165 hertz monitor, which I like, but it's just not as sharp as 4K. But I'm not willing to give up the frame rate and get a 4K monitor right now. So it's a hard decision right now.
Yeah, it's just early getting into 4K monitors that support the new HDMI standard and all that.
Yeah, next year it'll
sucks
be better.
because the consoles are coming out, and there are a few on the horizon. You know, there's TVs that support it, and even like the LG TV supports FreeSync, and I forget the name of the other one. I was going to say NSYNC.
Oh no, G-Sync.
G-Sync.
Yeah.
G-Sync, yeah.
NSYNC.
It supports. It's funny because I have
NSYNC
a
are also
video.
acceptable,
Yeah.
It supports NSYNC,
especially during karaoke.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
But Yeah, it's interesting because like TV fans can use that new standard, and for games that support it. Could be
So, and that's
exciting.
HDMI 2.1.
Does your game have
right?
ed sync?
Correct.
Yeah.
2.1.
That's-
So if you're shopping for 4K monitors, the HDMI 2.1 is what you want to look for the new consoles, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Correct.
That's it.
I'm actually
100%.
right now. Earlier today, I was like online shopping for high bandwidth HDMI cables because I know that not only am I going to need one to go between my monitor and my PS4 or Xbox Series X, PS5 or Xbox Series X, but I'm going to need to, all the splitters and everything for recording and everything, right? So it's like those cables are still expensive too. They're 48 gigabits per second, and they're a bit of a premium right now.
Can we get another podcast that's Briar's podcast about cables? But Briar's Cable
Management by Briar.
Cable management. Oh my gosh.
Briar's Cable Escapades.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I-
Briar's Cable ABC.
Briar getting managed by cables. The podcast.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that's
gosh.
perfect.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
So that was just. Did we finish? That was all the tech stuff. That
Yeah.
wasn't even the TWAB. That was like an
That was-
addendum.
yeah.
That was the pre-show for the TWAB. The TWAB is
Right.
Yeah.
much spicy.
I think the most exciting news of that was that all that stuff was coming to the Series S as well. So like even
Yes.
if you're spending $300 on a console, not $500, you're still getting the bulk of this. You're going to get 1080p, but not 4K. But
Was that
1080p
surprising?
still looks pretty good, and 60 FPS in a field of view slider, faster loading times, cross-gen play, and a next generation free upgrade, and you're able to play on Game Pass.
So there's been a lot of people saying like, why would you get a Series S if you have like a 1S or something like that? And like those features right there alone are 100% worth if you're a Destiny player. Like absolutely
yeah.
worth to get
Yeah.
a Series S over
the load speeds.
over a 1S because load speed alone is going to change your life. And then you're going to get 60 FPS and field of view on console, and you're going to be like, this is a different game. I mean, it's the same
I've
game,
been missing
obviously,
this
but-
my whole life. Like what?
Yeah, it's
The only
going to
thing
change
about
the
the
way you
Series-
play it.
I'm sorry to interrupt. The only thing about the Series S is there's like this hidden cost with the Series S that's actually really significant because you're only getting half the amount of storage you get with the Series X. So you're getting 500 gigabytes of storage, which in today's day and age is not that much, right? Where Call of Duty is like a 200 gigabyte install,
But
Destiny's an 80 gig install.
But the install sizes are going to be optimized for the Series S. So supposedly they're going to be smaller than what they are for the Series X. So Series X has the 4K, things installed with it,
Oh,
whereas
still,
the Series S
it's
is being
not that
pruned
much.
down.
It's still not that much storage, and
True.
extra storage for that thing is $220.
It's funny. You're right that it's hidden. It's funny for me though that like I understand they got to cut costs for them to get it down to the price of a Switch right now, right? Basically,
Yeah,
is incredible. But
Yeah.
that's what I've been just cautioning people to think about, and this adds to it. It's like, where do you want to be, now versus a year from now, 2 years from now? Because you're seeing it now. I actually was on a different show talking about how I was like,
What?
just be mindful. It was kind of funny news show. But anyway, I was talking about how just, keep in mind with Series S that it's not as powerful as the X and therefore also not as powerful as the PS5. And they market it as a 2K 120 hertz machine. Well, you are now seeing one of the first month or so out the door. So there's optimizations, but it's not going to even be 2K. It's not going to be 120 hertz for Destiny, a game that, has been around a long time. So we'll see.
and your
what
next
happens, but
TV is going to be 4K. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I have one, but it's not 120.
No, but I mean,
hertz, so-
anybody who's buying a TV,
You're like
Their
my
next-
TV specifically.
But here's the
Because
thing,
my
though.
point is
Here's the thing, though. If you are on the fence between an S or an X, like, get the X, obviously. I think the only reason to get the S is if you're financially strapped and you really want that new console experience,
Yeah.
And also, if you're not planning on getting 4K and you're just going to be playing Destiny and you're on Xbox, again, the Series S is a pretty fantastic option for your Destiny needs if you're not planning on playing other games and like with Game Pass and all that. But again, if you're like if you can choose between the S or the X, why would not get the X? Obviously, the X is going to be a better game, or I mean, a better console.
That's what I was.
Especially with that financing.
Yeah, that was the end of my thought. Was just it's not that, and people. What I was gonna mention was I got tons of flack saying I was like a fanboy for PlayStation, and people were mad.
That's true.
Doesn't know what he's talking about.
fanboy.
And I was like, look, all I'm trying to say is what Tef said very simply is like maybe you should just spend the money on the X or wait for that, because to Briar's point, if you're gonna upgrade your memory and if you're gonna be looking for the actual extra next gen power, that doesn't mean that S doesn't have power. I'm just saying you just keep it in mind. If you already have an S on the way, again, I think it's an unbelievable deal. You almost can't go wrong with it, like to this point.
Yeah.
It's also very attractive.
But yeah, I'm really curious to see when we start seeing other releases like side by side.
So
what does that comparison look like?
So I want to
X
know
is
I want
not
to
a
know how
looker.
your guys' opinion feels about the storage on that stuff, because with the PS5 you got to pop off the plate and then add an additional NVMe drive on there. So there's a little bit of an install, but like if you're a computer person, like it's no problem whatsoever. Now the Xbox, there's an Xbox branded 1 terabyte drive, and it is 220 or 240 or whatever. But they are going to have additional manufacturers that can do that. So like this is their first Xbox branded type of thing, but it is like a cartridge that you just insert,
So 90s.
and then all of the games are on there as if it's on the hard drive. Like,
And you can take it with you. You can throw it in your
Yes.
pocket, bring it to
You
a friend's
can take
house,
it with you.
and have an installed game.
all the games right there, just like that. You can pop it out, bring it downstairs, put it in the living room
Throw it in
one.
your Trapper Keeper.
Yeah.
Get over to your friend's house, like install GoldenEye, like that is gonna be crazy.
I know, like, yes, it's expensive, and comparing the solutions, like as a computer person, I can easily install a drive on the PS5. But that is a sexy solution. Being able to just like, all my games are right here. Just
The
install them in one.
PlayStation 5 solution, though, it's like those drives are going to get so cheap because all you need is a regular old NVMe drive, right?
No, apparently it has to be approved. It has to be like
Okay, you gotta have one that's fast enough to be on the approved list. But in 2 years' time, that's going to be like the base level, right? And like the best ones are going to be like twice as fast with twice the storage at half the cost.
But it's not to
it'll
say
come down.
it's not to say
Or
that
the
Microsoft
$220 Xbox one is still going to be $220 because it's proprietary and you have to have a Microsoft
No, they
license
said third
to make
parties. Third parties are going to be making them as well.
Yeah.
So it's not to
but
say
you're
that
still
they're
going to have
gonna-
a Microsoft license because it's a proprietary drive. It's a proprietary design.
Yeah,
Right? You're not going to be able to just make those without an Xbox license.
Yeah, it is a good point. It's
Yeah.
similar but not the same to a Nintendo cartridge or a memory pack, because it's not, the company's not already making a form factor that you just plug in, that's how the PlayStation 5 works, right? Is what you're getting at, Briar. You literally can buy any one that's approved in the future, but it's the same design that works in your PC. Whereas when you go to Xbox, it's like, it's this special design, special, I don't know what the actual plug is, so it's probably all proprietary.
Xbox Series plug.
Xbox plug.
To be honest with you, Tefty, in my heart of hearts, what I really want is to see that Xbox design come to PC, because how nice would it be to have that port on your PC?
Now that's
I mean,
big
it's kind
brain,
of
dude.
The big brain.
That's what we need to see.
That's the adaptive.
then-
If you can go back and forth from Xbox to your PC like that, dude, that would be.
I'm
I
not
don't
even
have to
like worried
bring
about
my-
transferring those files. I just like that form factor so much for that fat. Imagine having that kind of fast storage in a pocketable size drive.
I know, Brian, because then for the LAN party, I don't have to bring my PC over. I can
That's
just
right.
come over with the.
For the
I'm
LAN
telling
party
you,
that we'll have
This
in
whole COVID
2040.
thing is perfect for LAN parties.
Mm.
Yeah, but you are right, Briar, because as storage price comes down, that there's an extra cost to manufacturing this thing. So who knows how much?
But it's also not to say that
Is
the Microsoft options aren't going to come down in price. Also, like this is the launch for the Series
It'll
X.
just take time. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like all I can do is though look at the history of Microsoft in proprietary storage, like the Xbox 360 hard drive that was like that snap-on adapter, and that thing always costs like 3 times as much as a hard drive of a similar size, like for the lifetime of it.
exciting times though. I mean, I still think between 500 to 825 or something on PS5. Like it fills up fast. But
Yeah.
if you have a good internet connection, that's also a huge factor. Like as long as you're not playing like a ton of different games, it's manageable. But
Yeah.
But yeah, I have like a 2 terabyte SSD on my computer now, and actually it's already filling up with a lot of games. I like to switch between a lot of stuff, and I think that the quick resume is going to turn into what you're saying pretty fast for a lot of folks who want that convenience. They're like, dude, I can't believe I got to re-download this thing and get rid of this one. They're like, I don't even know what game to delete, because like, what if I want to play Warzone later, but I want to try like this new thing, and then you do betas on top of that. Remember, like you have a beta sitting there
True.
that you have to have
That's
the
true.
space for just trying.
And then all
new
the
games. Oh, man.
the Jetsam and Flotsam like game saves and themes and avatars.
The themes. Your vape theme.
Jetsam,
Wow.
Jetsam and Flotsams.
It's with Flotsam and Jetsam.
Call the icons and the avatars in the background. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it just fills up with shit. After a
That's
while.
true. I've
But
never deleted that
hopefully-
off the PS4.
No, hopefully though,
Neither.
like the install speed is so fast that it becomes like a non-issue. You know, like right now, the slow part isn't downloading stuff for me personally. It's waiting for it to install and copy. Right, it takes
Oh, God,
forever. That part is going to be much faster. So maybe we'll get to
Yeah.
a point where it almost feels like hopefully it's like a 10-minute thing to just
Yeah.
Right.
clear out some space and download the game you want.
I was gonna say we're all tech nerds. I think we're getting deep into this. Are we spending too much time?
Yeah, my bad.
We're
Probably.
going deep in it.
Just a
Yeah.
side quest once again.
What else was in the TWAB? This was a packed full juicy TWAB. We got the raid
Oh my god.
raid.
announcement.
The raid
It's
announcement.
official.
Raid
Woo!
power.
It's going to happen Saturday, November 21st at 10 a.m. Pacific, so a week and a half
Yeah.
after the Beyond Light comes out. Contest mode will be enacted. It'll cap players at 20 power cap below each encounter for 24 hours. Artifact power will be disabled during contest mode. 1230 power is your team's goal to be at the cap for all 3 encounters. And being above 1230 will not provide any additional advantage in the final fight. They have also put down official rules and say that World's First will not be announced immediately upon completion. They will be reviewing the footage of the teams that attain it and then, judging whether you are worthy.
Judging whether your ass was cheating or not.
Yeah.
Basically. Like we all know that this is
what it's come to.
This is because of the fact that cheaters
Because
are
of
on
PC.
right? Yeah. That's
Flick
absolutely
a switch,
why.
Flick a switch, and suddenly you're floating and flying. You have infinite
It's gonna be
heavy
very obvious if someone wins due to cheating. Like it's gonna be extremely
is, yeah.
obvious. They're gonna be able to. They can, even if they're slightly suspicious, they can check your account and then they'll see that you were cheating anyway because they can detect that crap if they look into your account, and then you won't get it anyway. So yes, I'm sure there's gonna be a good amount of people cheating for World's First. I'm sure of it.
Yep.
But I mean, they're not gonna get. They're not going to get the World's First as recognized by Bungie with the raid belt and all that stuff.
They'll get world's first cheater.
World's first cheater. Yeah.
Reddit's gonna be like,
Yeah.
congratulations.
You will get stuff like maybe they'll post images of the final boss or stuff like that, but
Mhm.
they will still have to figure out the puzzles and stuff. Even if you
Yep.
can cheat and fly around and get unlimited ammo on all of that, and respawn, and you can still have to figure out the puzzles.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
So what does constitute as cheating then? Because there is like using hacks, like flying around and stuff. But then
That's
there's also
fine.
been like the community kind of call outs to cheaters that have been like, well, they used the infinite reload glitch for this gun or the heavy ammo glitch for this other gun. And like,
That's not
some of the
cheating.
community think
That's
that's
not-
cheating.
No, that's
So
That's
now
not
we have
cheating.
official rules, right? Because
they don't get that deep into it, unfortunately.
That's
Their
true.
rules are pretty much they will declare who it is. They don't say
Yeah.
I didn't see on the rules page yet, and maybe it'll change. They didn't get into it. They did talk a little bit about you need to be one of the last 6 people, or you need to be on the last 6 people in that fire team in the last encounter and finish and open that final chest. So if you played most of the raid and you had to drop out, you're not going to be declared, part of it. It's really just going to look at the last people to be there. So that's really most of what they said. And then the team's official finish will be recorded when they return to orbit as well.
Oh,
so make
Yeah, I think
sure.
that's how it's
So
worked
make sure
before.
you beat it. You go to orbit.
yeah, because
Yeah.
sitting in the raid, even if you open the chest, I guess for whatever reason, and that was that way before. I think they wanted you to go to orbit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we know how Bungie is with stuff, right? If you use something that is in the game down to their fault, like the ammo thing or many other things, is like you can jump on this part of the wall if you get at it at this particular angle.
Yeah.
That's something that Bungie never punishes players for. If you're using a program that allows you to fly, there's a little different. There's a little
But I
different.
really like using that in trials. Why should I use it in the raid too?
Gosh.
Gone
Yeah,
undefeated in the last 17 weeks because of that program. Why should I stop now?
Yeah, I think it'll only be obvious cheats. So
Bungie will look into everything that you're doing. They know what you're doing. They know how you're sleeping. They know what you're eating. They know everything.
They're
So
Santa Claus.
when they start seeing completions,
Wow.
they'll check it out. And if you're cheated, you will, no matter how smart you are about it, you're not going to get the world's first.
do you think, like, taking an example way back, if you use to fly with the sword across the bridge, in Crota's End, do you think that would constitute something that
No.
would be cheating?
No,
'Cause you didn't really
no.
do that one side of the bridge to
No,
get to
that's
the
not
other.
No,
cheating.
I don't.
So
that-
see,
I don't
I
think
okay,
it's-
think
that's
you're
what I was
cheating,
wondering.
Fran. I think you are.
I'm
Oh,
not
okay.
I only unplug the internet. Okay, I don't do anything else. That's
Oh
the one
my
thing that
God.
I will do. So I don't know. It'll
Ooh,
be
that
interesting,
could
but
be
yeah, we don't.
cheating, right? That they would consider that cheating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
network manipulation.
What,
is
I'm
considered
plugging
Network
cheating.
manipulation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, it's gonna be
Yeah.
hard to return to orbit if you're not plugged into the internet. But
Yeah.
Could you
Lag
could you
switching,
imagine? Could you imagine celebrating like you beat it, and celebrating everybody in the fire team? It's just like the party leader just doesn't go to orbit, and then you guys don't get world's first because your
Yeah.
fire team leader
you're just
didn't go to
doing
orbit.
shots, getting
Oh my gosh!
I'm sure everyone will be screaming, go to orbit, go to orbit, go to orbit,
Yeah.
go to orbit, go,
Yeah.
go, 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 go. Yeah. But World's
That-
First is always
yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fun to, I like watching it, honestly.
I like watching it too.
I love experiencing it for the first time without any spoilers and no one knows what's going
Mhm.
on, and that's great. But I do also just love watching teams try and figure it out.
Yeah, it's really cool.
fun.
I
It's
do want to
really cool.
I do want to point out that this is a week and a half out, which is basically like Last Wish.
yeah,
Right.
11 days.
So
Do you guys
So
like that
it's gonna
better?
be hard. So
I
we
think-
should DCP
yeah.
will not be participating in this.
I think it's a sign of things to come for that raid, where
We
it's
can
going to
do it.
be it's
It's gonna be rough.
yeah, it's going to be
I
a
feel like-
jumbo.
So I thought the last one was about. I've forgotten.
It was about a
because
week, last one. Or less
Duelist
than a week.
was a week.
Yeah.
It was
I
like
thought-
on a yeah,
It was
but I
on the
mean,
Saturday, wasn't
I'm talking about Shadow Keep.
Yeah,
No,
Garden
it
of
was.
Salvation,
Sorry,
wasn't
that
it?
was Garden
Garden of
Salvation,
Salvation. Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
it really?
Yeah, it was like
No.
that Saturday, wasn't it?
It was that weekend. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I thought it was more.
Oh,
Time.
I like
thought it
the
was more
one
time,
that's a
too.
little longer.
I think it was
like,
a week
when you
and
got a
half,
week
just
and a
like
half,
this.
I don't think so. I think it was like a few days.
Yeah, we should double check it before.
We should double
Yeah, we
check.
I mean, 11 days. Like I
We
can
have
tell you,
that
I'm
information.
super sensitive to the amount of time, and I thought I recalled it being lately. It's been around. I thought 10 or 11 days, but I could be totally wrong. And
No, last one was Last Wish for that.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, Last Wish was
I
a
like
week
that
and a half,
better.
and then a bunch of them were super close, and then Garden of Salvation was, I'm pretty sure, that Saturday after Shadowkeep got released.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like it, but I'm also a little nervous about the climb.
Yeah.
You know,
it's-
you're gonna
it's
have
giant
a
climb.
reset. You're gonna have 2 resets in there, and you're gonna want to capitalize on all those resets.
Yeah, it's a ton of hours to spend playing Destiny for a week and a half,
Mhm.
and then capped off with probably a minimum of 12 hours just grinding.
It's just
Mhm.
crazy the light jump. It's a big jump. Really is.
Yeah, it's a climb.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
170. Yeah, like me, I'm always looking at that power, and yeah, maybe I was thinking back to like, maybe it was Last Wish, but either way, like I have been looking closely ever since Last Wish, obviously at the power per hour, and they did make some adjustments. They put in contest as well, so if you're grinding 12 hours a day, like it's not going to matter at some point, but based on like a very like Joe average kind of like number, I think I arrived at like a 5 hours a day kind of thing at some point. I was like, yeah, it looks like if you play 5 hours a day. So that's been the conclusion I've run at. I don't know how that will actually look here because, every game is different on how you level. Now there's going to be, fewer planets and all these other changes. So we don't really
that's
know,
true.
but
Didn't think about that.
But I was just based on their behavior, I guess. It feels like if you're super optimal, maybe you can pull it off 3.5 hours a day. You'll be totally good to go. But maybe it'd take you 5 hours a day. I feel like it's reasonable, at least, for a big elite event. But
with a reset in there, that usually makes it a little easier too.
True, yeah, a reset.
With a reset in the middle of it.
See, that's what we thought was
a little easier.
That's what we thought with Last Wish, and it wasn't the case at all.
I'm really intrigued of can I reach 12:30 somewhat comfortably?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of games. So if I could play Destiny for even 5 hours a day and go and experience some of the other games that are coming out for their next gen stuff, that would be pretty cool. But I mean, my past experience tells me no.
Cyberpunk comes out on the 19th, and then the raid is 2 days later.
Yeah.
I'm going to stand by that estimate. I think it's going to be doable in 5 hours a day because, and remember, dating way back to Last Wish, I was like one of the biggest babies crying over, like I had to work all day. And I was like, I don't know. And I played, by the way, I was playing like about 5 hours a night and it did not cut it. There were some bugs though, right? There was like a couple pinnacle bugs and it just screwed you power. And there's other factors, but they've changed a lot since then, right?
That's true. Yeah.
So that's the only thing I'd point out, that I felt those adjustments. And I remember as other raids were coming out, I was like, it was actually Crown of Sorrows, right? That was the one. And we played that, but it felt like we had enough time. They put in, was that the first one with contest, right?
Yeah, I think so, right?
I believe that was the first.
I believe so. Yeah.
And so that was the one I was like, oh yeah, I'm feeling these power per hour, sort of fairness, like 5 hours a day. I mean, again, that's a number that I sort of, in my spreadsheets, I've kind of come to the like rough average. It's going to be different depending on how you play. But
this is where the Teft lecture was Crown of Sorrows.
It was born.
That's where it originated.
Born from the depths of Crown of Sorrows.
18 hours playing that, if y'all remember.
Oof.
My legs were about to fall off.
We spent a lot of time.
I had to go to work the next day. Well, I should say in a couple hours after we stopped playing the raid.
That was a disaster because you guys were getting at the point because of first we had to grind through those 3 or 4 days of just like the story and then it's like, oh, and now the raid's out. And you're like, wait, though, I've had no like time. And it was in the morning. It just was bad all around.
I remember waking up early that morning so I could grind more that day. So like
it was
get that
18 hours of actual
time.
raiding. Right? But like I was like, I feel like I'm always underpowered. Like I'm always like the lowest power when we go into those raids. So I was grinding right up to the moment we got into it.
Hey man, I'm down. If we can do it, 5 hours a day.
I believe in y'all. Y'all got it. Y'all got it.
And I'll probably play more, but we'll see.
Get that sweet emblem.
They also, they showed off the emblem for players who beat it in the first 24 hours. I don't know if there's anything to be gleaned out of that emblem. Any hints?
You didn't try to decode those little like, braille.
I think it's
somebody's doing Morse code or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe there's braille in there. Can't tell. Looks like a possibility.
Yeah. No, I think it's hard to say because
it's cool.
Deep. Honestly, I say that one looks better than the GOS one. Like, that's just my personal opinion, though.
Mm-hmm.
What is the icon? We know it's Deep Stone Crypt. Almost looks like I don't know if that's supposed to be a skull. Like, do you guys know what the icon is supposed to be? It's like a white.
I have no idea. Like, looking at it.
It's very digital, though.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's going to happen when you stack 6 of them on top of each other and flip them in various orientation? It will be an image.
The new
my gosh.
exotic quest.
Yeah, you unlock those exotic quests.
15th wish. Oh my gosh.
15th wish. You think there's going to be a Europa wishing well with 15 more wishes?
You got to throw.
Could you imagine
to hope to get exotics? To wish for exotics. Throw some silver in the witching well.
You throw silver down there. That's genius, actually. you can buy quarters to throw down a well and see if like,
Oh
a
my
room like
gosh.
pops back out. Like, dude, I'm sad to say I might actually do that. That's kind of funny. Like, whatever. It's just like a quarter. Buy a couple bucks. It's like going to the arcade.
They did also say that you have up until December 1st at 9 a.m. to finish the raid and claim the code for the Europa Ready raid jacket. Does that mean it's going to be fluffy?
It's
gotta
so-
hope so.
Like a big
I was
furry
assuming
collar.
it was that.
Right? Just-
Europa Ready.
Wow.
And when we get it a year later, it will be winter. No hate, because honestly, the jackets are amazing, but they take a while.
They take a long time.
If they weren't as good as they were, they'd get a lot of like flack. But everybody, I think, right, Drago?
Yeah,
The jackets,
they're amazing. They're good. I like it.
they're amazing.
So
They're really
Okay,
well
wait.
made.
I feel like
How many
everything
days
from
is that?
Bungie
That-
Store takes a long time. Like I literally just got email confirmation that my pins are finally shipping that I bought in the summer.
Yeah.
With the Bungie store, I buy something to get a code most of the time.
Yep.
And then eventually I get an update about 7 years later that something's been
Yep.
shipped. And I'm like, oh, exciting.
But I am always happy with the product when I get it. Like
Oh,
I have
yeah,
a,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Everything's well made.
I got a
quality,
mug
man.
from them. I actually have 2 mugs from them, and they're like my 2 favorite mugs. And
quality,
it's not because
honestly,
they say Destiny on them. They're just like quality ass mugs, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I appreciate, honestly, that it's all about the quality and like you always know what you're going to get. I don't think, I've got a single thing from what they create.
Nope.
I've spent more
I
money at the
haven't.
Bungie store than I have at Eververse by like a long shot.
Oh, definitely.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's because you get something really valuable for it versus the Eververse. I'm just, they're vanity items.
Ooh.
They're vanity items. Okay, that's the joke. I was gonna say, so you have
Bungie
10
store-
days, 10 days to finish the raid and get the
Yeah.
jacket if you want it.
The Bungie store is also bringing back the community artist series. So they're
Yeah.
getting art
That's
from
really cool.
around the community and putting it up in the Bungie store. And they showed 3 samples today.
3 cents. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. Mhm.
And I want to buy 2 of them. I'm not going to say
I-
which 2, but I'm definitely going to get 2 of them because
look
I
amazing.
really
Where
like
they're
them.
gonna sell out.
They're really well done.
They are
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, they're really
Um,
good.
I think this is just it's solid to like feature this stuff in the Bungie store. I'm sure they're sharing like the profit with the artists, and I'm sure it's going to be high quality prints as well. Like we were just saying, they usually do pretty high quality items in the Bungie store. So these are actually really dope,
Mhm.
and I think it's pretty cool.
Man, seeing that night.
The night.
Because,
Nah.
yeah, the night. I mean, I have a soft spot in my heart for that night in
Ooh.
Destiny. And
Yeah.
Gamma Trap always knocks it out of the park with all of his illustrations that
Yep.
he does. And this is beautiful.
Yeah, that's. I mean, all of them are amazing looking.
But
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that one is.
Yeah.
That
I
one's
like I have an obsession with the night. Okay. So what can I say?
That's one of the most
cool.
memorable moments of Destiny 1, in my opinion. Is like the first time the Dark Knight comes out of the darkness, right?
Yeah.
Dark Knight Rises.
Mhm.
I'm really glad that they're bringing back the series and making it like a thing again.
Yeah, me too.
You know?
Yeah. Yep.
The Destiny community has just absolutely crazy talented artists.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. All the stuff I see on Twitter constantly, it's just everyone is so incredibly talented. So I'm very happy to see Bungie pulling on that because there are people that create amazing things
Yeah.
and putting it in the store. I'm sure it has to get their names out there a bit
Yep.
more. And then, like you said, I'm sure they're getting paid for it as well.
Yeah. The
All good
TWAB
stuff.
also has like little tiny snippets about the artists as well, which is kind
It
of neat. to read.
does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's neat. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it too. That was all that was in the TWAB. Nothing else of import whatsoever. We can move right on, I believe.
Nothing.
There's
else to talk about.
a somber moment for the community. I mean, it's happy and sad at the same time. So if no one knows what happened, Deej wrote something in the TWAB which we can read. I think we should just read it to have his own words. So that says, one last time, when the business of this weekly ritual is done, the author usually closes on a personal note. So gather round and let me tell you a story. Once upon a time on November 7th, 2011, after telling my family that I was running away from home to join the circus, I started my very first day at Bungie. I was starry-eyed, terrified, and in no way prepared for the triumphs and trials that awaited us all. Fast forward to now, past dozens of events, hundreds of deployments, thousands of patch notes, and millions of spent shell casings from my Suros regime. My last day at Bungie will be November 6, 2020, thus closing out a full 9 years in the service of the player. It has truly been an honor. I'll never forget having the chance to see this community come together and create its own movement. The next destination on my professional journey lies down another path, but I'll always enjoy retracing the steps we've taken together. I've made a lot of stops in a career that has spanned many different lives. One of my earliest mentors gifted me some wisdom that has proven true time and time again. Always be engineering yourself out of a job and replace yourself with someone better, he insisted. The truest measure of success is building something that can thrive in your absence. Bungie has a very special place where I could do just that. The teams that I've had the privilege to work with will carry the conversation forward from here, as they have for years now. They are a fine group of people who care about you as much as the awesome developers who work so tirelessly to create these worlds that we explore together. In so many ways, the community managers who are here to succeed me are better than I ever was at anticipating your curiosities. Stick close to them, and they'll keep treating you like the heroes that you are. I'm proud to say that I'm leaving Bungie even more a fan than when I arrived those 9 years ago. Whoever warned you that you should never meet your heroes didn't have the chance to work in a place like this. I'm taking with me a lifetime of incredible memories of Guardians I would never have known otherwise. Destiny will continue to be an amazing game, in part because of you. The people who play Bungie games together are the pride and joy of this company. It has been my pleasure to keep our community tradition strong during my time up front. Let us not say goodbye, my friends. Beyond Light is an experience that I'll share with each of you. You'll still see me around for the weeks leading up to launch, and then I'll be reverting back to my original role as a passionate member of this community. See you in Europa. Thank you for everything, and please do be excellent to each other. Deej out.
Wow.
Hits right in
Well,
the
it's
feels.
such fine words as well.
Well, shit, Deej, right?
Well,
yeah.
shit, these.
Yeah,
Gonna miss him.
it's the end of an era, isn't it? It's like, Deej was the face of Destiny.
Mhm.
When you think of
Yeah.
Destiny, you like Deej. It's Deej all the way.
All
Yeah,
of the
He has
it's-
done an incredible job of bringing up Cosmo and
Uh-huh.
DMG, though.
Yeah.
They're both excellent community managers.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's
know,
like what he
just
speaks
leaving-
to about leaving that legacy behind, and like that's
Yeah.
what has been interesting. He has willingly and smartly taken a back seat over the last honestly few years, and these guys have been killing it. And obviously he's been busy doing other stuff in the background that you don't always appreciate on a weekly basis, but just you've seen the team grow, and
Yeah.
and coming out of Activision, what a crazy transition that must have been
Mhm.
as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's been huge for like DCP specifically. When
Yep.
we were splitting off from Planet Destiny to make DCP, Deej was supporting us the whole way with that. He
Mhm.
came on the show to kind of kickstart us in our journey of DCP and
Live
kind of
from the bar.
live from the bar. He's been incredibly supportive of people in this community. A story that I love, and you should check out True Vanguard's Twitter to hear it from his own mouth. But he said that Deej found him when he had about 800 subs on YouTube and said, "Do you want a community spotlight?" And True Vanguard got a community spotlight, got 10,000 subs on YouTube because of that.
Wow.
And Deej
Wow.
he's kind of changed what I think of when I think of as a community manager. He's really dialed in to the people that are playing the game, that are making content on the game, and he's kind of given a lot of people words of wisdom and help
Mhm.
throughout their
I feel like
journey.
he's been a trailblazer in that I guess
So
that
perfect.
field, right? Yeah. Like you
Yeah.
were saying, like he feels like he's really he's set examples for people of what a good community manager can do for like the ecosystem of a game and the player base and all that. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
always tried to foster kind of like a loving, inclusive community too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
By example, I feel like.
Yep. Well, I mean, he is a warlock, so
So not perfect, I guess.
everybody has their flaws.
definitely gonna miss him. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he's up to next, but also maybe who knows, maybe we'll have an opportunity to finally just play the game with him and not ever have to worry about treading on the thin ice that's like well, you're the community guy and you work at Bungie and we're a podcast and a show.
Now we
and,
can
like,
bully him like we bully Fran.
Oh my
Exactly. we
gosh.
give him that tether lecture and he's just gonna have to sit there and take
We
it.
should ask him to play Sea of Thieves with us.
Oh my god, it's so good. But it'll be interesting. But I was gonna say the real bummer is that usually you've had one recent last event, right, that we all got to go to.
Right.
PAX,
Yeah.
You know, E3, Gamescom, which I know is one of Deej's faves, and it was always awesome seeing him there. But we didn't get to have that yet. So I feel like I'm still waiting for that personally, when we can all go back out to some event, see him, and we'll still be saying goodbye, I feel like, in person for the first time after it'll be like a year and a half from now, right? But yeah, you usually get to have that. So it feels weird to only read the tweet, I guess, and not think about, oh, I've seen Deej recently. Like,
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, if all this stuff hadn't happened, we
last
would have
year, I
seen him at GCX. We would have seen him at PAX.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So it's kind of that makes me sad because it's like, oh, I'm not gonna see Deej again as Deej, the Destiny community
Yeah.
manager. I'm not gonna go to these events and see him at the Destiny booth. And yeah, it's sad, but obviously he's setting out on a new journey for himself, which is always exciting.
Yep.
Yeah. I wish him the absolute best.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were trying to
Deej-
get "Thank you Deej" trending on Twitter.
Yeah.
So go do some
get that
thank you
hashtag.
Deejes on hashtag thank you Deej. But
I think it was
because seriously,
trending at,
thank
like,
you
number
Deej.
15.
I think it was at I think it was.
It got up
pretty high.
there. Yeah.
And like Twitter's kind of been up and down all day. Like
Mhm.
Twitter's having some issues today.
Twitter caught a cold. It's not COVID.
Yeah,
It's
it
just
was,
caught a
Twitter's
cold.
got-
it was
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I mean, again, the team that is there now, though, it is awesome, and we've
Yeah.
forged new relationships with them, and like got to frankly see them more, and so that's the good part. It doesn't
Yeah.
feel like we're losing, this leader of the community that we rely on like every day. Certainly, we have relied on him still, but there's really, to his point, there's very sound and
Mhm.
awesome people there that we know personally. That's part of the community that love the game as much as he did, and so. It's not like we're losing the community staff or anything at Bungie. It's more than capable, and we love those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Deej is a problem solver. He's been solving that issue of how to communicate with the player base for a long time now, and what works and what doesn't work. And he's been instrumental in the communication, the pros and the cons, and understanding, like I said, what works and what doesn't work. So
Yeah, because you never make them happy. We know the Destiny. You're right, Teft. It's sort of maybe underscored this conversation, but he had to live through Destiny vanilla and all the way up through the
Mhm.
tough times and
D2
communicate, and
vanilla.
also.
So it's been a smooth ride, is what you're saying.
Yeah. You remember vividly there was a moment even before they left Activision where they said, you know what, we're going to be more forward. We're going to talk to you more. We started seeing a ton more in the TWAB, and no doubt he's a huge part of that. So really, those are it's sort of easy to underscore the changes that he's been instrumental, but it's like clockwork now. We know what to expect, and we're pretty happy with the transparency most times. So
Yeah. The end of an era, but like you said, Cosmo and Dylan are really good at what they do. They're very cute. They're very good. And I'm sure that's in part to Deej setting them up to carry on this community manager job.
yeah.
Yep.
we'll miss him.
Oh, definitely. I'm gonna miss that fancy ass suit that he wore during reveals.
Oh, that jacket.
Definitely.
That jacket was
jacket. Oh
top
my gosh.
notch.
It was phenomenal.
Yep.
Should we do some Twitter questions?
Yeah. Do you want to get some butt stuff to lighten us up, bro?
Wait, what?
I'm always down for
Some
some
butt stuff.
Wait, speaking of butt stuff, subscribe to DCP's Patreon for Briar butt stuff. It's
Oh my
exclusive.
gosh.
All right.
Have we had any complaints that that's not an actual thing yet?
butt stuff
We're
on our
about to
Patreon?
now.
I mean,
But seriously, we want to thank our Patreon members for supporting the show. And if you're interested, obviously you can search for the DCP Live Patreon and become a member and all that. So
Seriously, lawyer fees are not cheap, and Lord knows we need them.
Briar needs them.
Oh my gosh.
They charge a lot of money. Brad Erickson. Oh, wait. I wanted to read this one first. Wayne says, Missing Pope Bear on the show. Any chance you could take turns answering tonight's questions as Pope would? Hashtag what would Pope say?
Oh,
We
interesting.
probably accommodate that, don't you think?
I can probably do that. What if we all just end up being Pope at the exact same time? No, that
All
sounds
right.
even better.
Hey.
Let's do that.
Worst things could happen.
Let me smear some Taco Bell on my face.
It's been so long.
Oh my gosh.
Brad Erickson says, personal question for Drago. Why doesn't Destiny 2 have dedicated servers?
Why doesn't it have dedicated servers? Man, I could tell you it'd solve a lot of problems if it did, but I don't know, right? Like no idea. Like I feel like a game like Destiny would probably thrive if it had dedicated servers. We wouldn't have to worry about the peer-to-peer shenanigans that happens. But I don't know. Like, how do you guys feel?
Man, Brad really threw you under the bus on that one.
Yeah, he did.
We never talk.
That's like a big question.
We never talk about netcode or
Deep flex.
dedicated servers on this show ever. Not
Ever.
a single
Okay.
time.
This isn't about money. This is about a shitload of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's not just money though. It's the
It's the
core of
PvE
the game.
experience, right?
Yeah, like
that
how-
thrives on peer to peer.
Yeah, literally, how are you going to go from the tower to a raid to a strike into Crucible? Just suddenly a dedicated servers. I'm not saying it's impossible to figure out, but
Right.
I think, frankly, you get more into a world like you'd see, maybe a bit like Call of Duty does it, where you literally have to like log into Warzone as a separate entity. And I think that's the discussion is like, what do we gain and keep? I mean,
Or
I guess
more like, what do you
actually
lose?
a lot breaks.
What do you lose?
What do you
Yeah,
lose?
sorry, you lose.
Yeah.
Because
You do
right
lose a lot.
now,
I mean, you can't just go back to the tower after a match.
yeah, right now, what you can do, you can play a game of trials with someone in Australia, Canada, and let's say the UK, and those matches are going to be questionable, right? They're going to be questionable, but you can still play. It's still possible to complete matches with those circumstances. In a dedicated server environment, that's not going to be the case. It's either going to be extremely awful on a dedicated server, or they're actually going to get kicked out from ping limits that they have on other games that are usually like hardcore about that stuff. So you lose the ability for everybody to play together no matter what. And what's great about Destiny right now is you can go into a raid with that same setup, and it will, for the most part, work. You can go into a strike, you can go into patrols and all that. And yes, you can go into PvP, and usually PvP suffers pretty bad if you even remotely care about things being fair.
Yeah, so this is why I say wait for Bungie's actual PvP game to be released, because we know that they're making one. They've specifically said that it's like a competitive FPS. I'm sure that one might have dedicated servers. It probably will. That's where you can go for your hardcore PvP experiences. Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's that they don't think there's not a lot of improvements, but yeah, the engineer had come out recently reminding folks they've talked about this. Like, look, it's not gonna, it's not something we're doing right now. And there's like a ton of reasons. We've looked at it, but look, we're making improvements all the time. It is very unique, the experience, and I get it, but there are a lot of frustrations. I don't know if dedicated server solves all of that or not.
I don't think it would.
Next thing you're gonna have to
everything.
install an anti-cheat.
It would solve some things, but it would break a lot of things. And one of the things that they want Destiny to be is like a social gaming experience with your friends. And they've moved more and more now towards the PvE side of saying like, hey, they're saying with Beyond Light, they want to make it more of a crazy bombastic experience with PvP and embrace the wild side of it, as opposed to trying to balance it hardcore for competitiveness. Like they initially tried that with D2 launch, and that failed miserably. Right? Yeah.
Unless you're Briar. Briar thought it was great.
Yeah, Briar.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's.
Briar said the first year of D2 was amazing. He loved it.
That's not exactly what I said.
Wow.
Those are those exact words.
His
This is
fond
perfect.
memories,
It's wrong. It's amazing.
of 2 scout rifles sitting in the back of the map.
Tryhard Tristan says, why do you main well in PvP? What advantages do you get for playing this underrated subclass?
Did you say subclass?
Class?
Subclass.
That's pretty good.
Yikes! Already starting off on a good foot. Freaking Tristan, man. Yeah. So I've main. It's not something that people do, but I main Well Radiance in PvP. I do. It's I think it's hard to explain, but like it feels like if you have. I've always been kind of like the support role player in like every game that I played, so it's nice to have that support system, especially in trials, right? So like trials is like super competitive, and like if you get one shot, you suddenly you have to hide until you're able to get multiple shots. So like throwing an overshield grenade fixes that, and it usually counters aggression. Like if somebody gets you one shot, they're going to push to try to get the kill, and if they push and try to get the kill and suddenly you have an overshield, it's kind of like, what just happened?
Yeah.
You know?
Uno reversal.
And yep. Yeah, basically, yeah. So then it's like on top of that, it's like using the well as a strategic advantage as well. Like if one person goes down, suddenly you plant a Well Radiance. Like if you plant your sword right, you can use your sword for cover, and they can't hit you, and you can get the res. And if they try to challenge,
Interesting.
you have more damage. And on top of that, I've actually used Well Radiance to get kills. Like if I see somebody that's by two people, I'll go for the melee, plant the well, kill the guy that I meleeed, and then immediately transition to the other guy, as well as like a shut down to supers. Like I've shut down so many hunters that have tried to come at me with Spectral Blades or Arc Strider. Like I get them low, get them half. Our team our team gets them half, and then I plant the well in their face and kill them. Like, and suddenly the game changes.
Fascinating.
So
It's got to be really demoralizing for those hunters too.
Yeah, just a little bit. I've gotten a couple of messages.
Favorite emote after that?
The one with the warlock one with the flame sword that's sharpening.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
right. That is a good
I like to do that.
So earlier you were saying that you actually position the sword to have cover if someone to get a res. That's fascinating. That's ballsy because the sword isn't very big, but obviously big enough just to like angle
just
it
to crouch and
yeah.
It also works when people are trying to snipe too. Like when people if you're a good sniper, you're gonna hit your headshot. But for sometimes they don't know. Like not many people. I guess more of the surprise factor. Like not many people know that if this person's crouching behind the sword, I'm just gonna hit the sword. And people that are using Revoker, that's their shot. It counts as a shot, and suddenly it just changes the game.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting. Because Titan Barricade doesn't count as a shot, which is interesting.
Yeah.
You could just spray into that with Revoker.
Ooh, that's a good point. It might not take the Revoker shot, but any
I
other
got
sniper.
one final question for you on that. What do you do for the smell? How do you get past that? Do you chew gum?
The smell?
The piss well. You know?
Oh my god!
Everybody knows this. Come on now.
Wow.
Soaked warlocks.
So
Diggleberry Man says, why did Bungie give one class the best solo survival subclass, fast forward movement subclass, best team utility super, and 3 high DPS supers? And why is it Warlock? Hashtag stop Warlock hate. Hashtag you're just jealous.
Warlocks are fantastic. They're the best.
I agree too.
I agree. Warlocks have been favored by Bungie, probably because of Deej's fault.
I think
Be
Deej is
prepared,
championed
Warlocks.
that.
Oh no!
He's prepared. I see he's saying that they should be nerfed. I agree with that comment.
Probably.
Too strong.
Yeah.
Nerf the Warlocks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Doughboy says, do you think D1 will be playable on PS5 or Xbox 4? Would be cool to see load time improvements. I don't see why not. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think there'll be any enhancements other than the load time improvements, but
That's
yeah, I don't see why not.
Think of that.
I mean, it's not on the list of the 10 games that aren't backward compatible with PS5. So I think almost definitely.
Yeah, interesting.
Hovis says, what are your thoughts on the next-gen console update being pushed to December? Do you think this is to keep console parity for the raid race? Also, love the podcast. Much love to you all.
I think it has.
No, I think it
100%.
I don't think it has. Yeah, exactly.
100%.
I think if they could get this out on launch day, they would have.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Like there's no reason why they would try to do some sort of console parody or something like that. They want to make, if they could have it out on launch day, they absolutely would, but they need more time for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was a bit disappointed. I'll be honest with you to see that it was December 8th and not launch day. But I mean, let's be honest. This year has been a shit show. This is the least of my problems.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, thank you for getting it out in 2020. That's
just hope
amazing.
it ships to your door on time. If you're getting a new console, and that's the
Yeah.
last. Like,
Yep.
please just give me this one win.
I
Show
was
up on time.
I was looking forward to playing Beyond Light on a PS5 on the day it launches, but
yeah,
that's probably not going to happen because of not having those enhancements. But you know, December 8th's great too.
Yeah. PXN says, if anyone has watched the PS5 UI reveal, there is an Explore tab that can act as a direct feed from content from communities for games. Can we see Destiny creators trying to make use of this to build a space for players to find the community?
Yeah, put me up there, PlayStation.
Yeah, I'm
Throw
sure
my
if there's
face
a
up there.
way.
Put me in,
I'll
coach.
take it.
Right? Have you guys seen this? Like, I mean, they already
Yeah.
have communities. They already have that on PlayStation.
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it just
This
an upgrade
is-
version of that?
Not exactly. It's like in the game you're playing. Like, let's say you're stuck on something, you can watch video of that part, like while you're in the game, like in the actual UI of the game itself. Like a video will pop up
It sounds
Oh.
as like a
Xbox
tutorial or something. I don't know if that's
Xbox
who
That's
curates
big time
that.
Xbox Connect, baby.
Yeah. I don't know who curates that. I don't know how those videos will be selected. I'm sure if your video is
Hey,
selected,
Sony,
you're going to
reach
be
out to me.
psyched about it. You're gonna get a
Reach
lot of
out to
views.
me. I'll think about it.
Yeah.
How to miss this actually?
$1 million.
What's wrong with me?
I don't know like how they're gonna select those videos. If they just pick random ones, who's curating it? Like I don't know.
It's
yeah,
some
it's funny
intern.
on. Yeah.
Yeah, some YouTuber will probably find out what algorithm is causing it to happen and then exploit it.
There
You
was
know?
an API. Yeah, I don't know how they choose it, but there was an API, for Xbox Connect. That's what made me think of it. And yeah, it would try to look at where you're at in the game, and you could have like a video that shows up in like a time zone or something to do with like the save states or something. But those features are always interesting. I don't know that it'll be super popular at first. We'll see if anybody supports it.
Yeah.
Cool though.
That is cool.
I mean, if you need that kind of help, I got Teft right here, man. I mean,
Oh, okay.
calm, tether, where's it go?
Be like,
Where's the tether
were
go?
you-
Oh my God.
where was your heart when you placed the tether? What was your intention? All right.
Oh my gosh.
PS5, call Tefty. That's all I had.
It's like Fran's personal Nintendo hotline.
Totally. Nintendo Power Hotline.
I see. Well, the problem is this is what you did wrong, Fran. Okay.
Well, first question, are you Warlock? Yes.
Oh my God.
Hangs up immediately.
Friendly awesome dude man says, DCP bros and broettes, do you think there is going to be a storyline bombshell in Beyond Light a la Forsaken? And if so, what could it be?
Yes.
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 That's
And
all. I
if
know.
so, what could it be?
Don't know.
Turns out Riven is your mom.
Whoa.
Oh, what?
Bombshell.
That's why she
That's
makes
a
all my wishes
bombshell.
come true.
Lot more teeth,
Oh,
man.
that makes sense.
You'd have a
And you
bad
killed
side
her.
if that was true.
Unbelievable.
Bombshell. I mean, how are you going to predict an actual bombshell? Like,
The
15 wins.
Vex-
Vex
Couldn't
are
be one if we
being
could.
manufactured in the underground, and the Traveler is actually cheating on everybody with everybody.
Oh.
Is getting the
This
light
Traveler
spread
is a
everywhere.
swinger.
That's what the travelers
Spreading
do.
lights all
Yikes.
over the place.
Yikes.
It's doing a Genghis Khan of lights.
When we
spreading.
learn we're not special. And then we forget how to use all the other subclasses except for stasis, and then now we're in the dark times.
Um,
Yeah.
The light.
Something to do with the darkness for sure. Of like, I feel like they're going to put us in a position where we're not, still not totally sure whether light or dark, like which is really the right one to
Mhm.
follow. There will be some
Mhm.
questions now. Like, wait a sec, because the drifter kind of started that whole thing, right? To a point, like where you're like, wait, like which side are you playing for? You play for both sides? I don't know. I think it'll have to do with really making us question. It'll make us think, like, have we been doing the right thing all these years?
No, we
6
have
years.
absolutely
I
not.
don't know, man.
Murdered a
All
lot of
these years.
aliens.
A lot
a
of
lot of
A
aliens.
lot of aliens have died. My intel. It's got a
They
lot
can't
of
all
kills
have
on
been
it.
bad, right?
It's
Oh,
like
no.
I watched Cobra Kai recently, and
Oh, man, that
it's
show's
funny
so
when
fun.
I won't spoil anything, but Johnny, tells his side of the story about how Daniel was picking on him, and he's such a jerk, and you kind of look at it, you're like, actually, like, well, I kind of was a jerk sometimes. He's a jerk. Like, it's so smart, and I won't be surprised if there's a little bit of that going on here. Like, dude, what was up with
Yeah.
the Traveler, the speaker?
Do you think we'll
man?
ever
What a
hear
jerk.
the Traveler like speak to us? Like, even if it's not like an auditory, like some kind of like direct communication from the Traveler. Do you think we'll ever actually get that?
That'd make a cool live event.
Yeah.
That would be a
When
cool
when
live event.
Aldrin hops onto the throne as the new speaker and then starts speaking for the Traveler.
Wow.
That's-
You think he's
That's
gonna
a
be
gonna
bombshell.
I'm just gonna shoot him. If he
That's
does
a
that.
bombshell right there.
Yeah.
Not buying Tassie's what's the guy's name? Sean Han.
Oh, that he's
Yeah.
Paul Tassie
Aldrin.
was theorizing. He's like, oh,
Oh.
he's your new Cosmodrome, like hunter that's gonna tour you through the new Cosmodrome. That was his theory. Yeah.
Veritas Otis 52 says, if people who play Gambit are Gambiteers, what are people who play Crucible or Strikes called?
Well, strikes could be strikers. That's
Yeah,
Crucibles
Crucible
are-
Crucible
are tryhards.
Tryhards. Yeah.
Tryhards.
They are cheaters.
Let's go, cheaters.
We call people who play the
Sorted.
Crucible sexual abusers.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Uh,
You do not like the Crucible at all, Briar.
Tropical Rigs 1 says, wondering if you guys have suggestions on monitors for the new consoles to maximize usage.
Oh, here we go.
And this is why I asked Aries, like right before I started the show, because I read this question. I'm like, Aries, what's the best monitor that Best Buy sells right now for 4K gaming? Yeah, the real answer to this question, Tropical, is there isn't one. Like you just need to wait. This is the position I'm into, because this is what I want, is a great 4K gaming monitor. And its solution, there's one answer that's okay, and it's to get the CX series OLED TV from LG. But the smallest one they sell is like 40 something
48.
inches.
too
And
big.
that's too big for a desk.
That's
That's not a
huge.
monitor.
It's like-
yeah.
You got to put that on the wall.
There are some
So wait, this
there
person's asking monitors for consoles,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. So
for PC.
by that I assume that he wants 4K 120 hertz.
Yeah.
That's what I'm guessing.
So
right?
exactly like HDMI 2.1, and they're just
They're
around.
just not
like-
out
I mean,
yet.
They're
just not out.
There's not the main brands don't have their stuff out yet, but Acer and Asus are on the verge here, we think. And Acer
Yeah.
actually has an event, I think, next week. They were teasing. I don't know if it's going to be revealed there and for when, but for it to be October 15th and it's out,
I
in
feel
a
like
few
it
weeks, like it
Yeah.
feels like you might have to wait this out a little longer, which is
And
weird.
they're notorious for announcing a product and you can't find it in stores for 6 months.
True.
You know. So I understand your pain. I want this too. I would say save your money, because also it's going to cost a shit ton of money when it comes out.
Oh,
Like I would guess $1,500.
Cool.
I don't know actually, because I feel like they're gonna make it. Those will be the super high end HDR or whatever. But like if you just needed a 27-inch HDMI 2.1, it's not like that tech. That tech's been around for years. They just need to start manufacturing it. So I think it's gonna be doable in the, I want to say $500 to $800 range. I don't.
I
so
think
you're gonna say
you're
years
on
when I was just
Very
like,
good
in on
price
that.
right now.
Yeah, I think
so.
that's like
It's
the
crazy.
discounted 2 years later price.
I think that's what it should cost, Fran. I completely agree. That's what it should cost.
27-inch
I think
monitor,
it's
probably
gonna
no
be-
HDR. Nah, 120 hertz or 140. I think it's very doable. I'm hoping.
Tiff, dude. No.
I don't see it, man. I don't see it at all. That's why I'm like, I've already resigned the prospect because I'm definitely not going to spend over $1,000 on a monitor. I just
No.
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 it's not happening.
You want
Stream,
HDR
stream
and all
can't
that.
even see how glorious it is yet
Mhm.
because the bit
That's
rate
part of it
doesn't go
too.
high enough. You can't even show people how glorious it is.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a side quest topic, but Twitch is experimenting with a new codec that offers
Experimental codecs.
extremely. I think it's called the AV1. So it's not
AV1.
MP.
Yeah.
It's called AV1.
Yeah.
So one of the things is there's no way to encode or decode this codec. So it's not right around the corner. But with the newest graphics cards, the new NVIDIA graphics cards, they can decode this codec on the fly. So like in a few years, once everybody has this stuff like in their computers, once this is mainstream, like it could be that the current solution, everybody wants Twitch to accept higher bit rates. But the solution that Twitch is looking at is it's not the bit rate, it's the codec. This codec is way more powerful. So maybe
So I need to have a 3080 in my stream PC and my
Yes.
gaming PC.
no, because you
3090.
can't, even a 3080 can't encode on the fly yet. This
Yeah, you're talking
AV1
about
codec.
encoding on the fly. I think decoding it, like once the drivers are, I'm assuming that CPUs and like you should be able to handle
Yeah, it
watching
depends.
the video on
H-
YouTube.
I don't
at
think so.
81
It's
eventually.
like
I don't-
H.265 is very CPU intensive.
It is, but we watch it all the time now.
No,
on, like,
H.264 is what we
modern-
watch. H.265 is like
But
later.
I'm just saying I have an 8-core 5-year-old. It is an old. It's 8-core to be fair, but like you can watch H.265 no problem on it. I'm just saying I don't know that you need like a brand new video card to watch this in the future, but you will need a reasonably powerful CPU, GPU combo, whatever.
Mhm.
I'm taking a total guess, but
Well,
so,
the-
in
on
other
the
words,
flip
I
side,
just don't know that you need to buy. Yeah,
aren't you able to stream at 4K on YouTube?
you can.
Yeah. Like,
Yes.
So YouTube has like all of it open, and it's just a bandwidth thing. They're like, yeah, have at it.
YouTube allows you to stream in a much higher bandwidth too.
Exactly, like 20,000, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's really hard, and that you hit the nail on the head though. It's very hard to watch because you're talking. I don't know if it's 15 to 20 megabits a second or whatever. I'd have to check, but it's a lot for you to be like downloading. I mean, once 5G is prevalent, maybe, and at least on your phones and other stuff. But like, the problem is nobody can even watch it anyway. So it's like,
Yeah.
what's it matter? Like, just like I would
Well,
even
it
like get to the
transcodes,
point
though.
where,
So then you can drop down to
You see,
1080 or
Fran,
of course,
1440.
I am
yeah.
a nerd.
and that's what you should watch. It looks nice. What's that?
I am a nerd, Fran, and it makes me very happy to stream at 4K, even
Well,
if nobody's
yeah,
watching.
Even if nobody's watching. I mean, I'm right there with you. I'm just saying realistically, because of the codec, and there is the problem. It's not that you can't do it at H.265 or even H.264. It's that it doesn't perform great, but also for each frame, it takes so many bits of data that it's just not reasonable to download it, in any reasonable amount of time. So
Maybe your iPhone 12 with HDR.
I was just
it'll solve
Yeah.
everything.
I'll be honest,
It's
Fran.
exciting, though.
I'll be honest, Fran. I don't agree with you on that because like tons of 4K content is on YouTube now, and a lot of people consume YouTube content at 4K. Like just
Is this
Yeah.
Pope Bear?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm doing
It's
a
true.
Pope Bear right here.
I'm not saying it's
I'm gonna
impossible. I'm
disagree
just
with you,
saying it's very intensive to download that bit rate. Like, I mean, I'm streaming it. I don't know, what is it, around 6,500.
do you watch
7,000,
Netflix
so-
movies at 4K?
Yeah, but they buffer a little bit. To be
They
fair,
do?
And
Netflix
so do
is
those
going to
YouTube
reduce
videos.
by half their
I'm not
their,
saying nobody can watch it.
bit rate.
I'm all for it. Let's reverse, rewind. I love 4K. I want to stream 4K.
Why do you hate 4K?
I just also want to be able to like do it at 2K. And yeah, it's actually like a huge pet peeve.
Well,
of
what
mine
I'm
when
saying though,
people-
Fran, is that I don't think the argument that a lot of people aren't going to watch at 4K is really the case. It's more of that the technology isn't available for the stream side yet on Twitch to make it a reality. Because I think people would put streams on TV at 4K and stream at that.
I totally get where you're going, but are you saying that Twitch can't stream 4K like YouTube? Like, of
Yeah,
course
they
can.
don't.
It's just expensive, and how many people are really going to use it?
Well, that's what I'm
You know what I
saying. It's
mean?
historically Twitch has been is very on the low side when it comes to the bit rates. I mean, forever it was like 3,500.
3,500.
Right?
Yeah.
Was the
Yeah.
highest.
Mhm.
Then
They're
they
saving
bumped it up
money.
to 6,000. It was like, whoa, 6,000.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, YouTube is like 6,000. What are we in the poorhouse here? Come on.
Oh my gosh.
And sorry, and that's the subtext, right? Is it's very costly to them right now to have that kind of bandwidth.
But they're owned by Amazon.
That's why they're looking
Amazon
into
has
the
got,
AV1.
Amazon Cloud, I know, AWS or whatever. I know. I want it for sure, but
I think it's like they are just not willing to increase the network for maybe it's finances, maybe it's just infrastructure, maybe it's like
It increases your tax bracket.
they're worried about their tax. They're worried about paying taxes. All right.
How'd you turn me into a 4K bad guy? I do love 4K.
Yeah.
I'm going on record. I want it as much as you do. I was just
I
being
think
realistic.
more people
like,
are watching 4K. I really do.
Fran hates your eyeballs.
I absolutely think more
Fran wants to be
Fran is pro
in,
blindness.
Fran wants to be a pixel character. That's
all I was saying is they're not incentivized because of people's bandwidth limitations, but also because they're cheap. You're right, 100%, because they're cheap. But
Wayne says
AV1 and all that'll make it a lot better.
Yeah, AV1 is supposed to be a pretty big improvement. Wayne says you slept through your alarm and you've got 10 minutes to get out the door for an important appointment. What do you prioritize in those 10 minutes, and what is your order of operations? You got 10 minutes. You got to get out the door.
And I'm not ready yet?
And not ready?
No, you
like
just
just
woke
rolling
up.
out of bed?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, you got to use the bathroom.
You got to, right?
otherwise you're gonna get there and be like, I gotta pee,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah,
gonna
but
be
Hold that
then you'll
thought.
be counterpoint. You're wasting time. If you can hold it for 10 minutes, as long as you're there and checked in, that's the
you're allowed
important
to go
part.
pee. Okay.
Yeah,
So
because
no
then you're
peeing.
risking. I'm gonna say no bathroom. You can. It's 10 minutes. If you can get
It-
there in 9
I'm going to
minutes.
say
pardon,
grab
do
your
not use the bathroom.
toothbrush as you roll into the shower and pee in the shower while you're brushing your teeth.
Well, so check
Right,
this
right.
out. In COVID times,
Roll.
you don't need to brush your teeth because you'll be wearing a mask, so they won't be able to smell your stank breath anyway. So maybe you
My
can skip
appointment,
on that until you
appointment
get
is
home.
robbing a bank.
Hold up. I'm just imagining
Whoa.
Briar wakes up and he puts Heelys on right out of bed and rolls into
Yeah,
the shower
rolls.
with Heelys on.
Living my best life. Hashtag blessed.
I can't believe he's gonna hop in the shower.
Oh
And
yeah,
you got
I am
like-
not leaving the
I do
house.
You
not
have
have
like
time for a
6
shower.
minutes to make all that before you like get dressed or something. Like,
Yeah.
Oh
the
yeah,
shower
I
ain't
am not
happening
leaving the
for
house
me.
without a shower.
The shower,
Under
No,
no
no
shower's
shower,
not
no
happening for
shower.
me either.
It
There's no way.
takes- It takes 5 minutes at least to dry all this hair on my body, man.
yeah.
I'm walking out that door, sopping wet but clean.
Yeah, it's gonna cause more problems. Just getting yourself all wet like that.
There's air conditioning
No.
in the car. I'll dry off.
No pooping, no peeing, no showering. Not a good idea. I disagree.
Yeah,
with
just
all
do the
these
waffle
so
stomp in the shower. You're good to go.
far. Waffle stomp.
Oh, God.
Think
Do
about
I
it.
really
You know what
wanna
it means.
Do I really want to know what this means? Are you talking about the great and like
Good God.
where did this come from? Holy
What about your Heelys, man? You can't stomp with the Heelys on.
Hey, what Watts?
It's a thing with Crocs, Fran. Don't worry about it.
Of
Only the
course.
Croc Brotherhood knows all about
Oh,
it.
Croc Heelys?
Oh no.
No.
Oh
Mm.
no. No.
My wife and I got matching Crocs.
Ah,
Brand new.
Those are pretty
beautiful.
fashionable.
Crocs.
Those
Oh,
are
yeah,
nice.
they're nice.
Those are nice. I'd wear those.
I've been getting closer and closer to buying a pair of Crocs.
Me too.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Why
I know,
are you
it's
wearing
like-
Crocs?
Great.
Why?
Exactly. Well, Fran, that's where I was for years. And I'm now to the
Yeah.
point where I'm like, you know what? I think I might buy a pair of Crocs. I think it's going to
To
happen.
be
That's
fair,
because
they've
of
had
Breyer's
some
propaganda.
street fashion crossovers
Yes.
that's making it pretty cool.
Yeah, I want like some
Mm.
sort of graffiti looking thing, you know? Just like
Oh.
graffiti explosion on my Crocs.
I'm
I
against
like it.
all of this. This explosion.
Can
And that's what we
Tomo,
think about
Waffle
showers.
explosion.
can Tomo set me up with like a Insta-buy graffiti Croc that comes out on day of or something?
Yes.
That'd be
Yeah,
amazing.
we'll keep an eye out. Yep, definitely.
I'm never pre-ordering anything again. I'm never waiting in line to pre-order something ever again.
By the way,
Sounds
well,
like you need
Until
some
tomorrow when the
thought.
new analog thing comes out anyway.
I want to point out, I don't think we figured out how to get to this appointment at all.
No,
not
10 minutes.
even
No.
You got
close.
10
I'm gonna be
Okay.
late.
Yeah, I'm going to be
Listen.
late. Yeah.
You guys, I'll tell you, seriously, I am washing my face as fast as humanly possible to get
Yes.
some, you got to get the puff down, quick eye cream, boom,
Eye
blow dry the
creaming?
hair with
Blow
some-
dry your hair.
Blow
Medium.
dry your hair?
wait, I skipped a step. I'm going to put in dry shampoo,
Yeah,
while
okay.
I'm
Dry
doing
shampoo.
that, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then
I've
I
never
take it out,
heard of
but I'm
this.
gonna blow
What
dry
is
just to give it a
dry
little lift.
shampoo?
Oh, I live and die by
What?
dry shampoo. Without it,
What
I
is
would
it?
be
I
screwed.
don't know what that is.
You
Y'all
can get it
missing
in
out.
multiple forms. You can get it in like spray can. You get it in a little powder dispensary. And it's basically you put powder on your hair and it sucks up all of the grease and stuff and makes your hair look fresh and brand new without having to wash it.
Dry
Wow.
shampoo.
Yep.
Yeah.
And in
But
some
in
ways, it's
10
good 'cause you're
minutes?
Yeah. We need the dry shampoo. Otherwise,
No,
my
it's
hair
dry
is gonna
shampoo
look
takes
like
like
I
30
got-
seconds.
Oh, 30 seconds.
Yeah, you
Wow.
just spray it and then go blah,
that's-
and then you're good.
It's
I
aerosol.
can't believe I
like,
haven't
out
known
here?
this.
Yeah, a little dry
Dude, it's
shampoo for the beard.
incredible.
Yeah.
Dry shampoo of beard. Honestly, I don't know how it would go. Actually,
Does it take care of bedhead?
Beard look.
Like, 'cause
Depends on the hair.
It freshens
Yeah.
you up.
That's what
Makes
the blow
just-
dry part is for. Get a little heat in there, maybe.
Oh, a little volume.
That's roughly it, man.
Little,
I'm
So-
out the door.
you got to have it blow
so
out.
Fran, you're not brushing your teeth before you leave the house.
Oh no, I'd brush your teeth. That's like so. I'd basically like while I'm doing
Just
all that,
get
I'd,
'em
like
in.
take a shot of like mouthwash, blah, 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 and then I'm doing all this like super fast, and then I'm gonna brush out. I'll actually just brush out mouthwash, maybe a little paste, and then boom, I got to get out of there, man. You'll
I feel
never
like
know
Fran
what's
is the only one that can actually make this appointment and
Yeah.
still.
Oh, I
be
can
I've
make
good.
it.
been in this. I'll tell you actually the story. It's very short. My alarm didn't go off one day. I had a meeting with YouTube at IGN, and I don't know what happened. I was actually riding my bike during these times, which only took 15, 20 minutes. But like I got up and holy crap, the meeting was like at like 10 and it was like 10:01. And I was like, son of a. So I was like, called my boss at the time. I was like, dude, I don't know what happened. And I just got out just like this. I got out the door, called the Uber as I was doing all this practically. And just like, I was there. Actually, they gave him a tour of the office. I made it within like 15 minutes. I was so like, oh, I
Sometimes
can't
you can
person
turn
is
it
the
up.
best.
If you got
Yeah.
to go, you can turn it on and make it happen.
Yeah, no.
Did you apply the
waffle
eye
stone.
cream on that day?
Actually, I
Did-
bet I did not that day.
No, had to skip the eye cream. Okay.
Because there's a lot up. I don't know how long it takes. In this case, I know I've got 10 minutes and I'm gonna be out the door there. So knowing I have the 10 minutes gives me something to work with.
DCP is actually pretty bad for this because you guys make it okay for me to be late. So I'm just like, I'll plan to be ready around that time.
I usually show up a half an hour before the show is supposed to start. Show's supposed to start for me at 9:00. I'm usually here at 8:30.
Mm.
I'm usually talking to Aries for about 15 minutes before Deputy shows up.
And then
Naturally.
I'll hop in at like 5:55. 5:57. That's plenty of
Yep.
time.
I have like said to myself, I'm just gonna show up late. Like, why do I show up at 8:30 every night? But I can't do it. 8:30 happens, and I'm like, I gotta go up.
I gotta
have
go.
to.
I gotta
I
go.
gotta go. Like, I cannot be late. It's not in my DNA.
That's when Briar starts drinking.
Goggles for the win says Google or Bing.
Google. What? Yeah.
That really
Is this a trick
Is
question?
that a question? Yeah, it's got
Bing-
it.
Does Bing still exist?
Bing for porn,
Yeah.
DuckDuckGo
Yeah.
for everything else.
Duck, duck.
Oh my
I'm
God.
gonna go with Ask Jeeves.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Yes.
that's a
Solid.
throwback.
Do you remember Ask Jeeves used to have an iPhone app, and you literally used to say you used to say Jeeves.
Jeeves.
No.
Jeeves.
Did you say it like that, Brian? Oh, geez.
Of course I did. I'm from Connecticut.
Pardon. Pardon.
Uh,
Rigo the Dingo says,
Yeah.
if you had a companion in real life, like in video games, who helps but also comments on everything you do, would you rather have Dinklebot, Nolan Northbot, or Paimon?
Paimon.
Paimon for
100%.
sure.
Who's
100%
Yeah.
Paimon.
Is this a
I don't know.
Genshin thing?
I don't know who Paimon is.
It's who
Is it
you
Genshin or
pick.
something?
You'd pick Paimon.
This
It's
is
who I'd
clearly-
pick. Okay, I'll
You'd
You'd
Paimon.
pick
Then.
Paimon.
Let's
You'd
go.
definitely pick
Let's
Paimon.
go.
Paimon's
Come on, tell me
100%.
where it's from.
Mm-hmm. She would give Fran a great nickname.
Where
Yeah.
is she from?
Exactly right.
You are all the worst. Intentionally
Paimon's a
not.
choice.
I gotta figure out how to spell Paimon. Actually, no. I'm gonna go to duckduckgo.com. Was that what it was?
Yeah, DuckDuckGo.
No, you should go to Bing.
That's real.
Is it? It's like
Yeah.
dog pile.
The real answer should have been Urban Dictionary. That's
Yes.
really the best place to search
That is the
any-
best
Get all
search
your
anything.
engine.
answers there.
You may not get the right result, but you'll laugh.
You'll get the best
It's a
result.
fairy sidekick of a player. Okay.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
Michael-
Genshin. It is Genshin. I was right.
it's Genshin. Yeah.
I knew it.
Michael
Gee,
Cameron
it's like
says,
Zelda.
if
Listen.
candy corn is still the worst Halloween treat all these centuries later, confirmed by Saint 14 and Osiris, how did it survive the collapse?
Well, how did cockroaches survive? Is it because
cockroaches, Stevie Nicks, and candy corn all survived the apocalypse. They all hide in the dark, waiting for everything else to die, and then eventually pop out and take over the world.
That checks out.
Yeah.
The
yeah,
math.
makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Does anybody on the show actually really like candy corn? Like you really?
I don't mind
I
it.
have
I like it.
I don't
I'll be
mind
honest,
it.
I don't
I
think
don't,
I've ever
mind
had
it. I'm not-
candy corn. I don't think it's
You've
really a
had
thing
candy
in
corn?
England, so I just kind of
Yeah.
passed that whole thing.
I think it gets
I
more
mean,
of a bad
if I have a
rap.
choice of any other candy, I'd probably take it.
I'm gonna buy candy corn.
Think it gets
I'm gonna
bad
out
rep.
Amazon
Bad
some.
rep for sure.
I didn't even know you could. I thought you just inherited it from your parents.
Oh my god.
It just was in a bowl somewhere in your house. Celix321 says, at AR McD, our artist, always killing the art for every DCP podcast,
Mhm.
from retro to side quest.
That's right.
Keeps it
The
the
goat.
aesthetic. I love her artwork.
Me too. She's
Same,
amazing.
yeah.
Like genuinely amazing.
Yep.
You can.
Yep.
I think a lot of it comes down to her research. Like she will make sure
Mhm.
that she watches people's streams so she can kind of not just know what someone looks like, but get a feel on their personality, the type of things that they enjoy. So when you ask her for a commission or whatever, she will know right away or go off on a better foot as to what kind of thing will work for you.
Yeah.
So every single time I've asked Ash for anything, she just knocks it out of the park. I don't have to say anything. I'm just like, yeah, this is amazing, great, wonderful.
Yep.
Like if I
She's the
can take
best.
just a minute, like what she did on mine, like she Aries told her that I play well Radiance, and like the fact that the well glow is behind me with the embers is just like it's amazing.
Yeah, it's those little details, right? Where it's-
Exactly.
That must have been tough.
When I
for
saw-
Ash.
Oh, she
Yeah.
just
Oh my
Happened to try. The well.
She just did the retro slot like background image and like promo art, and me and Jay Stuyverton were looking at it for like 15 minutes, like discovering all the details she put in it. Like there was like the sidebar that kind of looks like the side of an NES cartridge.
Mhm.
There was a little DCP seal of approval that looks
Mhm.
like the Nintendo seal of approval. We didn't even realize till halfway through the show that the whole thing is shaped like a CRT tube TV. Like it just kept going and going and going. We kept discovering more and more about it. We're like, oh my god.
her details are amazing.
Yeah, I
There'll be
think
lots of things that you will discover.
that's the thing. Her attention to detail and the willingness to research deep into it to really like approach all the angles. So you're surprised multiple times looking at it. Like I think that's her gift. She's amazing
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
hmm
And it's amazing how much she's grown. I feel like when we first met her and to now, like, I mean, the art is stupendous. Like it was stupendous then, but now it's like she really captures people.
Yeah.
Like really captures them.
Yep.
Russian05 says, simple question from me tonight. How's Pope doing? Hope he's keeping well on the other side of the world. He died, unfortunately.
It's only funny
We-
when you're
we meant to-
eating them, Briar, not just death. It's only funny when you're
Jeez.
eating.
We meant to mention it a couple weeks ago, but we forgot.
But so Pope actually randomly popped into Tefty's stream one
Yes,
night.
he did. Yeah.
Oh, he did?
And that was the
Really?
first time that we'd heard from Pope since he left.
Yep.
So he popped into Tefty's stream and I talked to him through text on Discord for a little bit and he's doing great. He's really
good to hear.
happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's super happy. His job is great. The way of life that they have over there is much better for him and his family. So
That's awesome. I mean, getting
He's
away
very
from
happy.
us must have been amazing.
That's
Right?
the first.
Just a
That's-
load
that's
off
the
your
first quality of
shoulders.
life improvement.
yeah, it definitely is.
Food. He did end up in Thailand, right?
Yeah.
The
Mhm.
food there. I had a chance to visit for one of my best friend's wedding a long time ago. But honestly, like Thai food here is one thing, but I swear over there, cannot explain it. But it is. I went from like I like a lot of like stuff like Indian food, curries and stuff, but I love Italian because I'm Italian as well. But long story short, when I visited, I was like, holy crap! If you get Thai food in Thailand, you are living it up, and it's super cheap as well.
Oh,
So
that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
it's unbelievable. Something about it.
Zachary Richardson says, "What is your favorite activity to do in the fall season?"
I don't
I like to
really
make a
do
book
anything.
of types of leaves and label them all.
Like a collage, like a press book
Yeah.
with
Is
wax
that
paper.
true? That's
each
not true.
type of tree.
That's-
and a
I feel
tournament.
like
I'm
he-
talking about like an
I don't
old
think
school
that's
science
true.
report.
I like
Where you
looking
had to, like,
outside
Are you
and I'm
calling
like,
Fran a
whoa,
liar?
leaves are cool. Things are pretty outside. The weather's
do that.
nice.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's a special time.
Weather
of year.
is a good time. It is. It's my favorite time of year, actually.
Yeah.
It just looks nice.
Same, Watts.
Everything looks
Same.
great.
Yeah.
We
It's
don't
got-
Just got a nice air about it.
Yeah, we don't have
Yeah.
fall in San Francisco. It gets really hot, and it's our summer basically. So I guess
I like to go around to different
Yeah.
coffee shops and judge their pumpkin spice lattes.
I do like to do that. I love a good pumpkin spice.
Just be like, not enough pumpkin.
Not
7.
enough pumpkin. No.
I don't like when the coffee is like they've added pumpkin spice flavoring to it. I like when it's brewed with like the pumpkin spice flavor.
Pumpkin puree.
Mhm.
Yes. I like me and the wife actually do this quite often. We're doing this weekend. We're going to a farm. You know, it's fall foliage season in the Northeast, so everything is just all different colors. So we're going to a farm this weekend where they have like live music and socially distanced stuff, and there's a brewery there and all that stuff. But we go on drives and hiking during this time of year a lot because it's just beautiful to be outside and the air is crisp and cool but not cold.
Yep.
So it's perfect
Yeah.
sweater weather. I
Hey,
love
yeah,
sweater
I
weather.
love sweaters. Sweaters
Love
are
good
great.
sweater
Like,
weather.
so get a little nice hoodie on, a
Oh,
big
good
oversized
cardigan,
sweater.
maybe.
Mhm.
It's
Good
great.
cardigan. Yep.
hmm
also Briar, we love on Fridays head out in those convertibles in the Ferrari, you know, and
Ooh, yeah.
boom, just feel the breeze on Friday.
Feel the
Yeah, it is
pumpkins in
good
the
convertible
air.
weather.
Feel the pumpkins.
If you got a Mercedes, there's like an air scarf that blows like hot, warm air on your neck. That's
Yeah.
very nice this time of year.
It's one of the many types of cars you have in your big like garage full of collectibles.
Now
Have
I
I
want to
mentioned our
go visit the
Patreon?
coffee shop.
Yeah, did I mention our Patreon?
Dreadnought says you get a chance to beat the crap out of someone, but your assault has to synchronize with your choice of any song. What song would you pick?
Ooh,
Ooh.
Damn. To beat the crap out of
That's a
someone?
cool question. I like
Yeah.
this question. It's funny at first at the beginning part that you can beat the crap out of it. I was gonna be like, Pope, and then I was, oh wait, it's not. It's nothing to do with it. That's why- Let me think on this. Let's see.
I'm gonna
How about-
go with the Asobi Asobase ending. If you haven't listened to it, it's very metal. It's like cute anime girls screaming over metal. It is great. I recommend it.
It's
wonderful.
always funny, like a fight scene in a movie when it takes place to like a pop song, like a really cheery pop song. That's always funny.
That's what I was,
That
I
is-
was
that's
kind
a
of
funny way to
thinking,
go.
like trying to think of some pop or synthwave, like so you get that contrast. Because at
Hmm.
first I was thinking Metallica because I love Metallica, and I was like,
That
a
was my
lot of
first thought too.
songs.
Yeah.
A lot of songs to choose from.
Yeah.
Like Blackened came to mind, but I was like, wait, that's too obvious.
Also, is it going to be a little too dark?
Yeah, that's what I was. I was like,
You know?
this is like.
You
Right?
could
You don't
go.
want, you want an ass kicking to ruin your whole day.
Yeah. You could go. You could go with some baby metal. Gimme chocolate.
Uh,
Huh.
That would be.
How about the
Bug
Bug Snacks theme song? Talk
the
about Bug
Bugs.
Snacks.
That might be the right one.
Bug Snacks would be pretty good.
How about Inagata Davida? That song's like 18 minutes long. You're really gonna get your
Oh,
ass
you're
kicked.
You
milking
just
it.
do it to Freebird because you're like,
yeah, just do it's a free
I
bird.
want this
yep.
to last.
Yep. Let's savor this.
Huh.
I gotta think about. I gotta come back.
I don't
to
know.
this.
Yeah, there's so many options.
I don't. Yeah, there's a lot of options. Yep.
Everyone just
Something-
throw on some "Gimme Chocolate" by Baby Metal. You'll agree with me.
Is that it?
Prince.
Really?
No, I think I'm going to go with some
I
Spice
believe you
Girls.
just made that up.
Nope. It's a great song. It's wonderful.
I'm going to go with Spice Girls. Their hit?
Spice Up Your Life.
Tell me what you give me.
Oh, Wannabe? One
Well,
Love
if
it.
you want to be my lover, gotta get with my
Great
friend.
song to freaking
Yeah.
break some face, right?
Oh my
Yeah.
god,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
humiliating
Yeah,
to
yeah,
get
yeah.
beat up by the Spice Girls. theme song.
Exactly. Right?
I mean, that's really it's insult to injury right there.
Yeah. Maybe Friday by Rebecca Black then. if
Oh,
we're gonna
no.
go down that
Ooh,
road.
good one. Good one.
Because it's Friday when they're getting their ass kicked.
That's what I was thinking.
Because it's Friday.
So they'll never
Friday,
forget.
Friday.
Oh my God.
Girlfriend.
Comes after Thursday.
Oh,
Right before
For the
Saturday.
weekend. Yep. That's a great song.
oh my God.
That's a good one. I think that's the winner.
That's the winner. Yeah. Yep.
How are we doing on time?
It's 8:11 p.m. in the
Yeah.
evening.
Got a few
All
more.
right, so this will be the last
yeah.
question. If we needed
Yeah.
more questions, because Twitter was broken today, so I was just going to go back to Twitter. But if we're done on time,
Feel
Hugo
free to
Rune
just yell at
79.
us again with your other questions if we missed you.
yeah,
That's
You-
gonna be a hard question to follow up.
Yeah.
That is.
yeah.
That one really made us think.
Hugo Rune 79 says, "Would you prefer to live in an igloo or have to dance the fandango every day at 9 p.m. for the rest of your life?
Ooh.
The igloo would replace your existing home and would never melt, so no getting out of that one, Tefty."
Why would it be me?
So would you rather live in an igloo or dance the fandango every day at 9 p.m.? I have to Google the fandango.
I was
I've
like,
never.
what's the
I don't
fandango
know what the
dance? I have
fandango
no
is.
Okay,
idea.
well,
I
so
bet the
if
fandango
you
is going to be a lot of physical activity. Like,
flamingo.
you know,
can you
some cardio workout.
recreate it, please? Briar.
Brian, can you dance the
I'm
fandango?
Googling it right now. An exuberant
that
Spanish
dance.
courtship
Yeah.
dance in a genre of Spanish folk song.
You would get
Probably of
guaranteed
more-
cardio activity every day by having to dance the
That's
fandango.
true. It would
I'm going with
force
that.
me to. That's
Mhm.
yeah. Forced
And you get to
physical
sleep in a
activity
warm
on me.
bed. Fandango.
I don't.
Yeah, I'm
I don't
down
have.
with Fandango.
Fandango.
I don't
The
have any
forbidden
problem
dance.
having a nightly dance.
A fandango off.
Yeah.
9 p.m. That's not even
We
that
could
late.
do it better.
No, that's great.
Like, hey, a beer and a fandango every night at 9 p.m. Let's do it.
I mean, having to live in an igloo.
I'm gonna
is a
get
pretty like.
Intoxicated.
Like, you can't even stand up in
Fandango
an
it
igloo, can you? It's like
Yeah,
you're
I
always
know.
hunched over.
It could be a big one. Big fan.
Up in
I
your
don't know,
head.
man.
Could be a big.
Bumping
igloo.
your head on ice roofs, that hurts.
I'm
right?
sure.
Isn't,
I don't
isn't
know.
there like
Story
a
igloo.
like an ice house in Sweden or something, like ice bar or something like that? You know, it might be one
There's
of
There is
those.
ice
an
house
ice-
beer.
There's an ice club, ice bar. Mhm.
Ice club, ice bar. Yeah, it could be an igloo like
Mhm.
that. Are you giving up on the dopest igloo ever for the fandango?
Yeah, I think I am. I think I'd rather fandango.
So,
You know, when he puts it that way, I think I go with the igloo. Like,
Mm.
It could be pretty
I don't
awesome.
know.
You invite
Also-
people over,
Every
they'll
day.
be impressed.
Also,
Dude,
you
think
never
you're-
have an issue with like cooling your CPU.
Yeah.
That's like living at a bar, though. Like
I was
living
gonna say
above
cocktails,
a
but
bar.
that's better.
Awesome. Like the first week, you're like, all right, all I have to do is walk downstairs, go to the bar, and then when I go home, I never have to drive home. But like week 3 of Ice House, you're gonna be like, this is getting old. 2 years into Ice House, you're gonna be like, my feet are always cold. I'm always wearing socks. It's
No,
fucking
those Crocs,
awful.
dude.
no, the Crocs.
Yeah, what about Crocs?
You can't wear Crocs.
with
It's
your-
always cold.
You could wear
Your
Crocs
waffle
with
stomping
socks.
and whatever,
3 layers
you
of
know,
socks, man. Come
You're gonna
on.
have to get wool socks.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, smart wools, for sure.
The merino wool socks. Double up. Double bag your
Yeah, let's.
feet. That's it.
great.
That's every question that could have
pretty good.
possibly been asked about
Well, we
Destiny
did it.
tonight.
Congratulations. We've solved all the mysteries of the universe. We
And maybe
We
soon you'll
solved,
see a
the
DCP
future of
Fandango group
Fortnite coding.
dance.
I think we know what we're
Fandango.
doing our next charity stream.
Building an
The
igloo.
Mandingo.
That is very different.
Oh my gosh.
my
Well, that was an interesting episode of DCP 210.
Was
Yeah.
it?
Congratulations.
This one's for you, Deej. We keep
That's
it
right.
classy
That's right, Deej.
Deej.
Well, shit,
in
Deej.
your honor.
Oh, don't forget we're playing Ghosts of Sushi.
Ghost of Sushi?
Ghost
Yeah.
of Sushi?
Ghost of
I want him
Tsushima
to
tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're gonna be slapping some ghoulies on the butt and saying that one's free. Mr. Gooley.
That one's free. Yeah.
Wow.
Next time it's the Fandango.
The forbidden dance.
The Forbidden Fandango.
Oh my gosh. Shout out to our Patreon members and also our Twitch subs for supporting us. If you're watching live and you subbed or resubbed or gifted any subs, thank you very much for the support in the show. It is very, very awesome. We appreciate all of it. Drago, where can people find you on the internet? And when do you stream?
You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and a little bit on YouTube. Dragosnuv on everything. And as far as when I stream, the only days I don't stream are Thursday and Monday. So
Cool.
every other day.
What's
you
your
catch
time?
me live?
What-
Usually it kind of varies. Sometimes we just go long, but I usually try to start around 12 and then just run it from there.
Is that Pacific? Eastern?
Central time. Sorry.
Central. There you go. Wild card. All right. Awesome. Fran, where can people find you?
Shout out Twitter and Instagram this week. Just Fran Mirabella on there. So if you haven't checked me out, drop the follow to support. I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
What?
Me. Hi, I am Miss 5000 Watts. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Just look for Miss 5000 Watts.
Briar.
I'm Briar Rabbit. I just started a new Twitter, so follow me at Tefty's Left Teftical.
Big fan. I like that Twitter account.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun. We have a great time over there. It's at Tefty's Left Teftical.
Post a lot of selfies.
Lot of selfies.
Awesome. I'll be heading there after the show.
I bet you will.
Oh my gosh. And I'm Tefty Teft. I was gonna make a joke. No, I'm not gonna do it. You can talk to me at Teft on Twitter, and I stream on twitch.tv/Tefty Teft. Yeah. I'll be playing.
Where you're going to be touching some ghoulies.
Yeah, I'll be touching some ghoulies tomorrow at noon Pacific.
Noon Pacific.
Ghost of Sushi.
Is
By the Tefticles.
Ghosts
Yeah.
of ghoulies. Ghoulie nads.
Oh my gosh.
All right, that's the show. Thanks for watching. Shout out to everyone who's hanging out and listening on the podcast and all that. And yeah, we'll see you next week. You know what I mean. You know what I'm saying.
Thank you.
All right, go follow. What was it? Tefty's Left Teftical.
Tefty's testicle.
At
Briar's.
Tefty's Left
At
Teftical.
Tefty's Left
Briar's panicking
Teftical.
to register.
Perfect.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.